behind the camera. If you've seen our Beyond Bricks podcast, you've seen EJ before on a couple different episodes. But I figured if I'm going to be live in downtown Rochester on Lanyap, nonetheless, and I'm going to talk for 5 hours, I got to have a co-host.
I'm super glad that you said Lanyap right off the bat, because
we're going to say it a couple times.
Man, I cannot pronounce it, Kevin.
So most people can't because it's confusing. Horribly confusing. But yes, Lanyap, that's what we're here for today. So tonight, what Lanyap is, for those who don't know, is it is the festival that we have in downtown Rochester, and it means a little something extra, right? So what Lanyap is a little something extra that you do for the town. So this is our little something extra. Every company tonight, everybody in downtown Rochester tonight is going to be doing that. The streets, as you can see, or if you can see behind me, they're bustling still, but the parking spots are shut down. Here at about 5:15, they're going to shut down Main Street. They're going to shut down for the entire night. And it is going to flood with people because tonight we turn on the lights. Tonight is when the Christmas season begins in downtown Rochester. The Big Bright Light Show kicks off tonight, but it kicks off with an event called Lanyap. And like I said, that's a little something special. It's an old term from Louisiana, actually, and it's still rarely used there. And if you actually Google search it, if you remember this, we did the other day, Rochester comes up in that conversation,
which is awesome.
Rochester comes up and it says towns like downtown Rochester utilize this term to kick off their season of giving.
And it's a French background.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm like, does Rochester have a French background? I don't think we do.
I don't think we do. We actually stem from Rochester, New York. Most people don't know that, but Rochester actually came from people coming across. They were running out of space for farmland. Okay. And so they moved over here. They literally just kept walking. They drove over to Rochester in the late 1800s and settled downtown Rochester as farmland. But they called it Rochester, Michigan, because they were from Rochester, New York.
Wow. And obviously today it's radically changed. We have a beautiful downtown here. Mm-hmm. Your business, Stewart Realty, is housed here in downtown.
Coming up on 10 years.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Our company, as it stands, we're in year 9. This next fall, we'll celebrate our 10-year anniversary.
And, everybody out there, I always joke with Kevin, he is like, he's not the mayor of Rochester, but Kevin knows everybody.
We're going to have
in downtown Rochester. Yeah, we are. But this is one of our favorite events. My family lives in the Rochester area here. We live in Rochester Hills. And as we do, every year we come down to the lights. And tonight there's going to be, I think it was something like, 8,000 people. Does that sound right?
It's more than that. It's like 20.
Wow.
Actually, I think when Nancy comes on, she's going to bring some stats.
Okay.
So one of the things we're going to do is when Nancy and Christian come on, they're both on city council.
Correct.
And Nancy's our current mayor. They're going to come on and have a conversation. They're going to talk about the traffic and some specifics on what happens there. We also got the chief of police, Chief George, is going to come on. I'm sure he's going to have some things to say about that because his job definitely gets a little extra this time of year.
Pretty crazy.
I can tell you, I will give a shout out, and we'll talk about it more when he's on, but the amount of attention this city gives to these events for safety and security, I'm telling you, it is mind-blowing. There are so many people. I love that we're on a window.
I know. Yeah.
So many waves.
I'm waving to people.
I love it. I think it's going to be super fun. This day is exciting.
Yeah.
But the amount of safety and security that the city has done to make sure that everybody that comes down here during this season is safe and is good to go. Gosh, the attention to detail is unbelievable.
Yeah, now
there's so much attention to detail.
Now I'll transition us a little bit to our first guest here because, the Big Bright Light Show out in downtown Rochester, it started in 2006.
Yes.
So we're coming up on, 20 years, right? I don't know if this ends up being year 20 or year 19.
This is technically year 19.
Okay, so
that next year is 20.
So we'll have to ask Bill Fox later, potentially what we got coming for the 20th year.
Yeah, when John and his son are on, we're gonna ask them, see what they're doing, something special. They did. So the Fox family has been involved in this. All the way down, right through the generations has been involved, which is an incredible thing. That family is tied to this. They're actually the guests we're wrapping up with today.
Awesome.
And we've got John and Daniel, who are going to be on with us that are going to talk a little bit about that. And so let's put them on the spot.
Yeah.
Later on
and see what it's like.
And see what they say.
So
they've done add-ons.
Here was my transition, though, that I flipped up. We'll get more in a rhythm as we go. One of the favorite parts of my kids coming downtown, and I know we've shared this together, is that one of the shops down here has a little extra.
A little more than a little extra.
A little extra. And as I've seen that little extra happen, my kids always look up into the sky on the top of one of the buildings. And on that building is this beautiful, beautiful display.
Yep.
And it happens to belong to our first guest.
Yep, to our first guest.
So let's invite him in, Kevin.
Let's bring him up. So we've got Paul Haig to start from Haig's Jewelers is here with us. So we're going to bring him up. We'll transition slowly into it. We're going to have to figure out as we go the transitions of guests coming in and out.
I know. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. Come on, Paul. Okay. Come on over here. So we're going to let you sit down right here. Come and join us on the show.
And those of you who are online and watching, feel free to leave a comment. We'll pop those up. We'll answer some questions if you have them. Paul, welcome.
Thank you.
We're so glad you're here. We're so glad you're here.
And like you said, we want to talk about extra. So tell us about. Let's start there. Let's start with your roof.
Okay.
How did that start?
It's a little something extra, and we do it at our own cost every year. It's not paid for by the DDA. And we have Santa. We've gone across 4 buildings with Santa, but now we're just on top of my building, and then we have big other things in the back of the building, and we have things on this inside the building. And something, it's a celebration of the holiday season, and we do that every year. And people always want to bet, what are you going to do this year? They ask questions.
I can tell you, your store is one of my favorites to go through this season. It's fun to go through any time because every time is different, right?
Yes.
You have so much intricacies inside your store, different things. I love walking around with you. If you're not there, it's not as fun because you get to talk to me and tell me about all the cool things, and I can hear the passion in your voice for what you do and talking about the antiques and the different things and where they came from and where you found them and all the stories that come and show its face at your store, which is super fun. But this season is so fun to walk around because you do all that extra. You do so much cool stuff inside. If you guys are out there and you're walking through Rochester, absolutely go into Paul's store. Make sure that you say hi to him and ask him some questions about what he has going on because he's always got some great stories for you.
And we're always buying and selling lots of different things. I'm buying every week, and I'm selling a lot more than I buy every week, which is good.
That's good. Because by trade, we'll call it antiquities, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I deal in also antiquities. I deal in pre-Columbian. I deal in Chinese. I deal in Japanese. I deal in tribal. And my big passion is jewelry. I'm a jeweler. I started out as a stonecutter when I was like 12 years old. Got my first business license at 14. And then I've lived in 5 different states. I came to Michigan to go to college here, and I fell in love with Michigan. And then I fell in love with Rochester. I bought a house, fixed it up. Then after having a bunch of rentals, I started out above the Old Bean Feed and Seed for $45 a month. And then he went and raised it to $60 a month. And then I went across to the bakery, and I set up a beautiful workshop up there, which they still have up there. Then I went down to where Morley's or the candy place is, and I was there for 11 years. And then I went ahead and bought that building, and I rehabbed the whole building and lowered the basement by 5 feet. I made it, everything I did was top drawer. And so the building has got the most solid foundation of any building in Michigan. But upstairs, I have an art gallery. I've always dealt in art. I've traveled many places in the world, and I was just in Amsterdam studying tribal art, and I'm going to keep doing that. I'm only 75, so I've got a lot more time to do.
You got a lot left in the tank. You're upstairs. Oh. Let's talk about that for a second, because most people don't realize, I didn't for the longest time, that was set up that way, right? Your first floor is more of the jewelry store, right? Yep. Now, when you go upstairs, you talked about it as an art gallery, which, guys, it is an art gallery. If you haven't been up there, you have to go. It is so intriguing. You can walk through that, and the stories and the things and the items that you see are unbelievable. They're so cool. So talk to us a little bit. How did that start?
It started because I was a museum nut when I was a kid. And I learned so much about so many cultures. And I became enamored with the pre-Columbian culture, and I became enamored with the Chinese. I wrote a book on Chinese textiles. I became enamored with Japanese. I've been to Japan a number of times. I've been to Thailand a number of times. I've been to Europe a number of times. I just enamored with art from all over the world. And it's so intriguing, and there's so much there are so many rather great pieces of art out there still to be discovered at garage sales, at house sales, and at auction. And I buy a lot at auction from Sotheby's and Christie's, other auction houses too.
Paul, a question for you. You know, when the lights go up downtown, does business get busier for you? Have you seen the influx that, you know, the attraction, I'll call it, brings?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What happens is you have people coming down to look at the lights, but they're also coming down to have dinner. They're coming down to shop, and they're coming around to look at all the windows because we have window displays.
Right.
Most of the merchants are doing beautiful windows right now.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and then a lot of merchants are open much later, and we have these lights. The lights really attract. Ever since those lights were put in 20 years ago, it has made a tremendous difference in business.
Yeah, and as
do you know, is it 20 years? Is this the 20th year?
This is the 20th
This
year.
is the
okay,
20th
so
year.
good.
Okay.
See,
So there may be some extra tonight. I
Yeah.
don't know yet.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
I know there's always some, we'll call it tricks up the
I
sleeve.
have no secrets I can tell.
okay,
Yes,
that's good.
I love it.
That's good. Now,
No, but there's the inside scoop. That's all people need to know.
Yeah.
If you weren't planning, you should be planning on coming down here
There
now.
will be surprises that will definitely be worth everybody being here and seeing those surprises as they happen.
that's awesome. And in this season, do you have like a best seller, or is everything you have so unique that?
Oh, you know, that's a good question. We have a lot of unique things, but we have a lot of regular things. We
Okay.
make a lot of wedding rings. We do a lot of this.
Got
In
it.
fact, I have a box here I would show.
I would love that.
Okay, this box is 1 kilo, 1,000 grams of pure silver. Now, it's got kachinas on the outside. Okay, but this is not Southwest. This is international. This piece was actually made in Korea.
Really?
Yeah, a Korean piece. Now, it came to me just recently as a jewelry box. So, of course, I had to
Oh,
put a little
my.
jewelry in it. And so you've got some beautiful pieces there of opal, emerald,
Now,
yellow diamonds.
Here, go over.
I'm
to
going
my-
to adjust
go over to my
cameras after
ISO
this.
for
Yeah,
a
let's
second.
go over
'Cause
to
I want
to
people to
4.
see
Come,
this.
come. There we go.
Okay, so talk about what we have going
Okay,
on
right
in
here you have lapis, quartz, and diamonds and 18 karat gold. Then you have a beautiful opal in platinum. Then you have a beautiful emerald. You have yellow diamonds. You have sapphires. You have rubies, and of course you have diamond engagement.
You know the
rings.
girls in the background right now that
Yeah, they're
work with
looking.
me.
Yeah, they are.
They're very curious to see inside this box. Summer's over there, like, hey, what you got going on in there, Paul? What's up?
Well, it's
They
good
see
that-
sparkly things from the back of the
This is
room.
only less than 1,000th of what we have.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I mean, when you go through your store, the amount of interesting items, especially from a jewelry perspective, their jewelry is so unique. You guys have
cut our own
so
stones
many
a lot of
unique
times, yeah.
products.
So we mix our own metals, we cut our own stones, we do repairs. We have a lot of fun at our store.
I know
I
you
have a
do.
great staff, and they do a great job, and they support me.
Well, and you've been doing it for so long. Like you said, you just gave the background of how long you've been in this town, and you've been here for all of it.
Only 54 years. on
Only
Main
54
Street.
years. It's not that many. I mean, geez. So give me this. What you have a lot of people in town right now. You've got a lot of younger business owners, a lot of the young companies that are working their business inside Rochester. Coming from one of the OGs of this town, what's your advice? What would you say to them? What would you say to somebody, whether it's advice for how to, be a part of this town or how to capitalize on events and ideas and things like the Big Bright Light Show?
I would say that the downtown is very active, and you should treat every customer that comes in like you're related to them, and see what you can do for each person. And I will tell you that it's very friendly downtown in Rochester.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I mean, you've got great merchants. You've got a great mix. The DDA has helped us have a great mix of business, and that's really great. We have so many different businesses. There's so many great restaurants. There's so many great jewelry stores. There's so many great other stores. There's just, this place has got it all, and it's very carefully selected. And we tried to pick The DDA has tried to always pick what we need in Rochester to
And
balance Rochester.
People don't realize that there's a lot of effort and energy put into protection for businesses down here.
Yes.
You know, making sure that we're getting the right types of companies, businesses, people that want to be involved in the community, and they're careful because there's usually a waiting list, right? There's usually a waiting list for businesses that want to come down, and it's not that, you know, they're trying to keep people away, but what they're trying to do is that they don't oversaturate certain things.
Right.
We want a lot of dynamic. We want different things. I've said for a long time, and I've had this conversation with you, of the protection for first floor Main Street is very important. We want restaurants, we want shops, we want boutiques, we want places that people have a reason when they're walking around to go in, shop, come out, and go to the next. We want that in Rochester. So the city's done a good job of taking the steps now to protect that for the future, to make sure that the shopping district of Rochester stays super strong. And that's for people just like you.
Yep. No, the city has done great things to protect all the merchants in town and to help the merchants. But, you know, the DDA puts on programs. You have had grants given by the state and county. It's just it's viable, it's vibrant, and it's getting even better all the time.
Oh, I completely agree. We're constantly making strides as a city, and I've been a part of it. I've been watching and doing everything I can to make sure that I'm helping along the way to keep that process going for the next generation, right? Because the day will come when businesses change over, and those days happen, and we need to make sure that the city, you know, has a ability to progress, but at the same time respects and understand the history and what we have here, because what we have is very special. Mm-hmm. It's different than any other downtown community. It really is.
Yeah, we try not to have great big signs. We have a sign limit. We have a lot of different limits for businesses, so we can have a balance and everybody gets covered pretty equally about, you know, how many signs they can have and this and that. It's really good.
Yeah, it is. It's very good.
You know, Paul, one of the things that I think makes Rochester really unique is not only the walkability. Over the last few years, they've added a ton of parking with the different parking structures. And, you know, as our family, I have a young family that, you know, we come down here. There's so many different things. You know, me and my wife can come out for date night. If I need to make a last minute, you know, birthday purchase or anniversary purchase, I can run in, you know, and see you. There's just a ton of different options down here. Over the years, how have you seen downtown Rochester change?
Okay, so I may have mentioned when I first came to Rochester, there were empty buildings.
Okay.
There were some stores. There was an antique mall, which you don't find in real active downtown, big antique mall. But
right.
There was, and there were some really small businesses. There were some temporary businesses. I've seen the traffic increase, of course, because you have more just people doing things downtown.
Right.
I've seen what the DDA and what the city has done. They put the parks in, they've done this. And the parking structures are very important to downtown because they provide enough parking for anyone and everyone that wants to come down here.
Yeah.
We don't have a parking problem.
No, we don't. And most cities do. And we used to have a parking problem. And the council and, you know, taking the initiative to do the parking structures was very important because it has changed the dynamic of the amount of bodies we can host in this town. So when you talk about the amount of traffic we get, especially through an event like this, and it's not just tonight, it's the constant
whole season.
It's from here to the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know,
the season is just starting. It's going to burst, and you're going to have so many crowds downtown. You're going to have people. Well, you know something? We've even thought about having go one way and then go the other way on the sidewalks because it's so crowded.
What's the number? Do you remember when Nancy was on Beyond Bricks?
Yeah.
The number of individuals, of people that come down during the season.
I want to say it was 1.6 million.
It was just shy of 2 million bodies that enter this town, because we did the math and it was like more people will come to downtown Rochester than they do to every single Lions game this season combined.
Yeah. That's a great fact.
Yeah.
More people will come down here than every single attendee of the Lions game.
And the great thing is it's very accessible.
Extremely accessible.
We've got so many different businesses that, I mean, a lot of the restaurants do get booked up, but there's always a place. You can always, I suggest that you get reservations beforehand.
You're right.
Especially for nights like tonight. I know we're in 423 and we have like their whole corner here sectioned off because we wanted to be on the street. We love the logo. Johnny and his team do such a great job here. But I know this is a crazy busy night for them. I mean, it's 11:30 and they're not open yet. I can see people starting to hustle and move in the background, but this place will be jam packed tonight.
Yes, you're right.
Jam packed.
Too many seats open.
No, there will be 0 seats open. Yeah, there will be standing room only.
It'll be roaring.
It will be, and it's such a fun. That's part of the energy, right? God, yes. The energy of tonight. And when they made the move a couple years ago to close down the street. That was vital because it was actually getting borderline dangerous without it because there was not enough space in the sidewalks, and they shut down the parking spots, but that didn't matter, even that space. The videos that we have shot in the eye in the sky views that we have got over the last couple of years of this street tonight is proof alone that, I mean, this event is special and it is very, very well attended.
It's a crowd, and I would suggest that people come early to find parking. And yes, you can park a lot in the neighborhoods too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
I was thinking as I was driving here this morning, I have about a 5-minute drive, not too far, to come in, and I was here early, and I got a little mini preview of all the lights being on. The team was out here, fixing everything, and I think there's well over like 1.5 million lights. I read. And, they moved everything to LED. Everything's done by hand. It's handcrafted with the team, zip ties, and just, an amazing job.
Well, and the way that now additional businesses, as they travel north and south and east and west of town, that the other businesses have that aren't in the immediate downtown district that are getting the lights as part of their DDA assessment. People get that question all the time. That is part of the DDA assessments. Businesses don't pay extra to get lights in their building. That's not a thing. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, throughout this podcast today, especially with some of the individuals like when Christy comes on. Christy Trevara, the head of our DDA. I'm sure we're going to talk about that, but this is it's a give back to the businesses. Right. We pay for it in our assessment, but that's an annual thing that goes into all sorts of things. Right?
It's such a deal.
It's a great deal.
You can never get the amount of advertising, the amount of excitement, the amount of business for individually trying to put out.
Do your own marketing.
This kind of marketing is the whole downtown, the whole area. And it's going up north and it's going south, and we are seeing so many more lights that people are putting up, and the city is working to put more and more lights up all the time.
Yeah. I mean, and they're finding ways, constantly looking for ways to expand it. Right. Yes. And so some businesses have taken the initiative to do that. Like I know Tony put lights in his building this year.
Yep.
PCYC, they did the same thing. They put a big chunk of lights in their building. So I love that it's extending past university, right? It's going north of town, and we're going to continue to have it because everyone is bought in on the joy that it brings to everybody to come down here.
They bought it in the joy because it's beautiful.
And
it's so nice to walk through the downtown and see, again, all the windows that the merchants are doing. But going north, you're seeing a lot of people put up their own lights, and they know that it's bringing people up too. And this is very important because we have such diversity in town that it's great to have more and more things going on north, south, in side streets. It's really exciting.
So, Paul, let me ask this before we wrap up with this portion, or before you head out. At your jewelry store, at your particular shop, what are you excited about moving into this season? What should customers and individuals that come into your store expect or be excited about to see? Give us some insider scoop on the fun of what's going to happen inside your store, and some things out there for the people that are watching that see this that they want to make sure they come through your front door.
Something we've just purchased 2 or 3 of the largest estates full of modern jewelry. Some of it was never even worn. Probably 10% of it was worn. So we have Roberta Coin, we have Tiffany, we have German, we have all these different things in our store.
Wow.
Now we're growing and we're changing. And I'm letting the younger people manage more of the store. And believe me, they're bringing a younger kind of feeling and more young clients and bigger and better clients too.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Everything is, and it's all exciting to see people come in we are sometimes so crowded that we have to call all our workers from downstairs, all our workers from upstairs to come down and help on the floor because we get that busy.
That's
Yeah,
excellent.
we're going to have every case is full, even overfull. And if you don't see what you're looking for, ask for it. There's a good chance we have it on a tray in the back.
That's true, right? So ask the question, go in and ask what you're looking for. It's a great place for everybody to come to shop for the holiday season if you're looking for, especially for somebody special.
And something different.
And something different, something you're not going to see every day. Your shop is the perfect place to do it.
I agree.
And I just want to say from myself, thank you for what you've done for the city. I'd be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to personally thank you for everything you've done for this city, because this city isn't where it's at without you. You're a very special person. I don't think you're told enough by the people in the city how much you matter, and you matter to this city. And it would not be the same place if it wasn't for you. You're incredible, and we love having you here, and I love that you're a part of this city. You make this city what it is.
Thank you very much, but I have to give it to the city and the people in the city and the other businesses because they've all made this city what it is. And thank goodness I was able to help.
I love it.
That's all I would say.
I love it.
Well, if you haven't had an opportunity yet to go and check out Haig's fine jewelry and their objects of art, go and do that. This is a great time, a great season. Pick up a gift. Maybe some of you young guys who have asked for a young lady's hand in marriage this season coming up, go visit Mr. Haig and his team there. Paul, as Kevin said, it is a joy to have you a part of this community, and I feel honored to have you this morning as our first guest. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, by all means.
Thanks, buddy.
Well,
Really
next
appreciate
up,
you.
we're going to just move over here for a second. And as we do, we're going to have an absolutely amazing team come in next. If you were in 423 Main right now, you would begin to start to see the hustle and bustle that is happening. And as you do, you'll recognize very quickly who we have up next. They have some of the best meals in the city. I believe, Kevin, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm partial. Probably the best bread that comes out warm. Would you agree?
They have the best bread I've ever had. It's also, there's going to be a lot of people listening, so I'm going to put this on record.
Yeah, do it.
It is my absolute favorite pizza I've ever had in my life.
I couldn't agree more.
It's the best pizza I believe around. It's super unique, made on the same bread that they have every single day when you go into Cruz-Amir. And it's not just Cruz-Amir, it's a whole family of restaurants.
Yeah.
And which I'm sure we'll talk to a little bit about that. But it has been since I was a child, probably 6 or 7 years old. It's been one of my absolute favorite restaurants my whole life.
Yeah. And just a few months ago, I remember us filming and you told a story.
I did.
With almost tears in your eyes.
It meant a lot to me.
And here's what I want to do, because obviously this is our first round doing this. You know, we're the precursor to the big dogs out there. You know, when they set up down there and have all the real, camera studios. Yeah, so we're the precursor, okay? But what I want to do, Kev, I want you to just for a moment, before we welcome Alex and Pat on, I'm going to move a couple cameras around because we're learning through this too. And I think people need to see less of me and more of these guys. Yeah. So I'm going to let you tell that story. I'm going to sneak behind you. I'm going to ISO your camera. Tell that story as these guys are coming on here. And I'll make a couple technical adjustments as we go. So share that story with us real quick.
I love it. So that's part of the fun of live video and live casting, because usually when we do podcasts and things like this, we're not live, right? We're filming and we're taking the time to shoot inside of a studio, which is a little different. But today we're live and we've got cameras set up everywhere. We've got lights and putting together inside a space with a window that lighting is constantly changing every 30 minutes. So there's going to be some changes throughout the course of this today, which is totally fine. And we're cool with that. But the story that EJ is alluding to is, so when I was young, again, I grew up going to Cruz-Amir, and it was my favorite restaurant as a kid. For whatever reason, we were always taken incredible care of there. It was my parents' favorite, my dad, my mom, and we grew up, we didn't have a whole lot of money. right? We were definitely not their biggest spender, but we would go there and we would get pizza. So we would get a pizza and bread and enjoy our time. We went there almost every single week. We were constantly there. This is actually at their place, which is now the Village. It was Cruise and Mere at Meadowbrook at the time, but now it's Cruise and Mere at the Village. And my family ate there regularly. Friday nights usually, because that was our night out that we had to go out in the town. But when I was 8 years old, it was my birthday, and my parents asked me where I wanted to go for dinner, and I said, well, I want to go to Cruise and Mere. I want to get pizza. And they said, great, let's do it. So when we got there, this is the part of the memory that I mostly remember. Some of this has been told to me by my parents, but I'll never forget. I'm 8 years old, and all of a sudden the lights get turned down in the whole restaurant. The lights dim, super dark, and out comes Bill Cruz and crew singing happy birthday with a little lit candle and some sort of dessert. Don't even remember what that was. That didn't matter. And he had the entire restaurant sing me happy birthday as an 8-year-old kid.
That's
you want to
awesome.
talk about feeling like you're the king of the world? Because to me, I looked up to Bill. He
Yeah.
was bigger than life.
Yeah.
To me, he was like the coolest person I'd ever met, ever. I still think he may be one of the cooler people that I know, but he sang me happy birthday. And it was a core memory for me that made me realize now later in life how important it is to take care of everybody, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
And to truly do a good job of taking care at an extra high level and an elite level, the people that support your business.
Yeah.
And they've always done that. And I believe, Casey and Alex, the whole family, they do such a good job of taking care of the people that come in the restaurant. They become part of the family.
Yeah.
And, I learned that early on, and it's a story I'll carry with me forever because it meant a lot. It meant a lot to have him take the time to do that, to create a special moment that he forgot about. I reminded of him years later. I was sitting at the Chop House having this conversation with him. He's like, I did that? And I said, yeah, you did that. It was amazing. And he's like, that was pretty cool to me. And I was like, yeah, it was amazing. You have no idea. And we don't know the small touches and nuances that we do that leave a lasting effect on the people around them.
Yeah,
And
I couldn't agree more.
And the Cruise and Mere, the Mere family, or the Cruz family, is that for me. They have left such an impression on my life. The friendship that I've had with them over the years has been incredible. And their entire family of restaurants, I can't tell you enough about how much I enjoy, and still to this day look forward every time I go to there. So we're going to go ahead and welcome up. We've got Alex Cruz and Pat Jones here today. They're going to come onto the show and have a conversation. So we'll kind of bring them up and settle them in.
Yeah, and as they come,
and as normal, we've got a bow tie on.
Looking great. I'll share a couple of fun facts as Pat and Alex come up here. Hey, good morning, guys.
If you can hear, there's not many people in the background. Don't worry about the headphones. You're welcome to put them on if you want them, but you don't.
Yeah, thankfully we don't have, it's not too bustling in here just yet.
Later on, we're going to need headphones because no one will be able to hear anybody.
Yeah,
once this place opens.
Yeah. So Alex, Pat, welcome. We're so thankful that you guys are here. Obviously, we have great stories from you guys. Why don't you just start off? Tell us a little bit about your business. And obviously, you guys have some of the best restaurants around. So talk to us a little bit.
Okay. My name is Pat Jones. I've been with the company now for 21 years. Started when I was a kid. Kind of a similar memory that you just kind of shared is first went to the restaurants when we first moved into Rochester, and then was looking for a job as a young kid, trying to buy a car and pay some bills or do whatever I wanted to do, and started working at Cruise and Mere as a dishwasher, and that was when I was 16, and so I didn't really know that this was what I was going to do. It was sort of kind of something that kind of fell into. But as the more I liked it, the more I kind of worked my way up through the kitchen and learned a lot. I realized, I did have a passion for food. I did have a passion for the way, I guess, Cruise and Mere did things. And so, I learned a lot. I moved up through stations. I've worked I've worked every position in our restaurants, and ended up going to culinary school. But I always tell people that I learned a lot more just from working in our kitchens than I probably did at culinary school. It's just, when it comes to food and cuisine, it's just a company that does things the right way, and that's what I appreciated. So, I long story short, there's a lot of different transitions between in the last 20 or so years, and now I'm the director of operations. So I visit all 6 restaurants and help manage and uphold standards. And but yeah, that's I mean, Cruz and Mir is me. It is my family. It is you know, I've got a lot of relationships that I've formulated through that company, through my company. I refer to it as that, even though it's not my name, but yeah, it's cool. It's good to be in the Rochester community. It's good to be proud of where you work and the people that you work for. And I guess that's my little bit.
Well, and
That's
whether your last name is Jones or Cruz, right? They, like you said, they make you feel as though you're family,
right,
because you become a part of that family.
Right.
You know, I started at probably 16 years old as a dishwasher as well.
Yeah.
Actually at Cruz and Mir, the same restaurant that I was talking about,
Okay.
Cruz and Mir over at the Village. Again, when it was Meadowbrook Mall. I'm aging myself, but so yep. I mean, actually, I got my first job promotion of my life there because I moved from the dish sink to the pot sink. And I was like, wow, I am moving up in the world. Look out, everybody. And then I got the big promotion of going into making pizzas, which I got to learn how to make my favorite pizza, and then ended up in carry out for a while there.
That's sort of the natural.
That's the natural.
Moving on up,
right?
Kevin. I see you.
I mean, and I moved up quick. I'm not going to lie. I was pretty proud of myself. I must have been a fairly responsible human-ish.
Alex, look how quickly he sat up there. He was like, you know, it totally was his thing.
We're always looking for
Come back in the game. Come back in the game, right? So, Alex, I got to ask you a question because I know that people have asked me this before, but it's always fun to ask a Cruz. Let's talk about the bow ties, because the bow ties has been a staple of your family forever. Can you give us some inside scoop conversation on that? Because I think it's just you, your brother, and your dad.
Yes.
I don't see real. I mean, I've never seen you in a bow tie.
I wear them quite often.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I forgot mine at home today, but yeah.
Well, really, my dad worked for Chuck Mir since he was 18 years old. Chuck and his family always wore bow ties. So my dad kind of did it as a testament to him.
I love that.
We kind of ran with it and always
Stuck to it as their tradition of the restaurant.
Just honor Chuck.
I love it. I love
I
it.
started out wearing longer ties, and I quickly reverted to the bow tie just out of convenience. You know, when you're busting tables and it's busy and you're running food, you know, the tie.
And I can
the
tell
tie
by the
gets
one
in
that
the
you
way.
have on, you wear real bow ties.
Oh, yeah.
That's not no clip-on, guys. And I don't know if you know, I mean, I've tried to tie a bow tie. I'm kind of okay at it, but I don't do it regularly enough to be good at it. Dude, bow ties are tough. Like, they're tough to like make look correct.
When you tie them enough, you can ultimately do it.
You know,
So-
this is something that I've learned about downtown Rochester is everybody's got a little bit of their own flair, right? And Cruz and Mir definitely does. You know, some of, I would say, the best service I've ever had. Your wait staff just make sure every single thing is perfect. And you know, whether it's my kids with allergies or it's, you know, I'm looking for a specific side, that type of thing. They're just phenomenal at that. And I can only imagine with a time of year so busy that your staff, you guys sit down, you take extra time, you guys talk through stuff with them. Would you guys take a moment? Tell us a little bit about your team, what you guys feel make them so special, because, you know, you have wonderful food and we've all been to restaurants, we've all been to purveyors that have great food, but there's something beyond it. And I feel like you guys have that. Will you just talk a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't be where we're at without our staff. And it really comes down to is our managers as well and our training programs. And what it comes down to is really, I think it translates because we care about our employees and we take the time to train them to make them successful. And just, I mean, like I said, we wouldn't be half of the restaurant we are without our staff.
We try to start first and foremost with good people, right? You know, I just think when you during the whole interviewing process, and we're trying to decide who we're going to bring on our teams and what restaurants, from managers all the way down to dishwashers and wait staff. You know, it's just we try to identify if they're just a good human being, if they're a good person. Usually you fit pretty well with us because at the core of what we do is we're a restaurant group of good people that try to feed good people. You know, all of the communities that we're located in are full of good people. And,
Pat, say that again, because I'm going to put you on this spot. It's just so good. Hold on. So I heard good food, good people. Right. Can you give that to me again? Because
you were a restaurant group of good people that are trying to feed good people, and it sounds so cliche, and it sounds
like the
so
new Cruisemere tagline.
Yeah,
gosh, that's good.
It's going in the handbook.
Yeah, that's in the handbook. We're just good people taking care of good people.
Yeah, and so when you actually care about people, and things are going to happen. This is our business. There's mistakes that happen. There's everything doesn't go according to plan, but that they're good people trying to do the best, and they care, and so that's easy to deal with. It's easy, when you break it down in its simplicity, it's very just easy to navigate, because at the core, this is a good, even when we have to make tough decisions, it weighs on us. It's not something that comes easy, because we know that this is a good person. So,
well, and in food service, consistency matters, obviously, right? You guys have incredibly consistent food, which is hard to do. Very hard. Is it perfect always? No, that's impossible. But you can make up for a lot of sins that come out of the kitchen with great service, smiles, being kind, having good conversation. Those things can be made up for. And I know some places that have some really, really outstanding food that their service is hot garbage. Mm-hmm. And people don't go back because of it, because people don't want to go spend money for a dinner out and not have what they feel is an experience. And you guys have done such a good job over the years of creating and managing and training and teaching that experience that you can replicate it over and over and over, which is why I believe you guys are so consistent in the experience that people receive when they come into any of your restaurants, even though it's not just Cruisemere, right? It's Paint Creek, it's the Chop House, right? You've got other places that are different concepts, but you can still tell it's one of your restaurants. Right, you can still tell because it has that same punch and consistency from management all the way down to, again, the person who's washing the dishes.
Yeah.
And you can tell that consistency is there, which I know the patrons of your restaurants really appreciate.
Like you said, it's not perfect, but people want consistency, and you're going to spend your hard-earned money. You want to go to a place that is going to have good food and good service, and that's really, at its simplest terms, that's what's in the handbook.
Yeah.
So, it's worked us.
So you guys have 3 restaurants here in town, right? 3 restaurants here in downtown that would all be, we'll call it, affected by what's happening tonight. That's affected by the holiday season and the Big Bright Light Show and Lagniappe tonight. So what has that been like for you? You've experienced obviously all 20 years of the lights, and you've been here for all of it. How does it impact? What has been the impact for you guys that you've seen over those years between your 3 restaurants?
I can tell you the Monday that the first Lagniappe, I was busing that night, and we had scheduled that night right down the street at Cruisemere on Main, as if it was a typical Monday, because we didn't realize what was happening. And it was actually me and my brother busing. We were the only 2 bussers on that night. And we made more money that night busing than I think we've ever had as a busser. And it just, from that moment on, it just started to gain steam. It's like a snowball effect. I think year over year, it's just more people come into town that maybe have never even been to Rochester before, and they realize what's actually here. And not only just the community, but the restaurants and the shops and everything else that we have to offer in downtown. So it's what it's done over the years is it's probably the single best thing that's happened in for downtown Rochester as far as from a business standpoint. Right.
Do you think it has an effect on the months to follow? Right, you mentioned new people that come down that haven't experienced your products before or experienced your restaurants. So you have seen that it's not just the month that the lights are on, but it's the expanse of the opportunities it creates for someone who may not have experienced your restaurant yet.
You're introducing so many new people to see the lights, and then they're coming into Cruisemere for the first time, and hopefully they have great food, great service, and that will bring them into the doors in January, February, March, some of the slower months. And or going to, if they're in Clarkson, well, I went to Cruise Mirror in Rochester. That was amazing. So
Recognize the name and know to go to the next one.
It's just monumental to what it's done.
And like you said before, we have some differentiation between our restaurants. And so even though we have Paint Creek and the Rochester Chop House, even the Cruise and Muirs are different. And so, like he said, if they've been to one in Clarkson or they've been to the one in Royal Oak, like every restaurant has its own sort of unique menu. We kind of stick to the core items, the popular stuff, but every restaurant has something different, a different feel or different menu item that is intriguing.
Do you guys do any special menu items for just this month? Is that something you do? Is there something different that someone's going to experience at Cruise and Mirror this month than they would other months?
We try to stay fresh. It just depends on seasonality of things. We do like to bring back a lot of the popular items that people have grown up with. But yeah, there's some specialty things that we will do kind of on a whim, just to kind of make it cool. With as much volume as we see, you're not going to see the extravagant, like super where chefs got to take, a ton of time to make sure like the plate's super elevated. Like I think all of our plates are good and elevated and good quality, but we have to execute. There's a lot of people that we're trying to make an impression on, and it first and foremost has to be good.
Let's talk about one of the biggest impressions that you guys have. And we touched on it at the first. Let's talk about the bread.
Yeah, because and I got to pull this out.
Hold on here and not have a conversation.
We gotta
about bread
I feel like
it's a game changer.
I maybe I'll loosen this button because I'm gonna have to loosen this one after the season of Cruise and Mirror bread. How can we put a number on how many loaves? Give me a month. If just shoot for the sky.
It's
thousands and thousands.
Yeah.
Well, and what I've always appreciated is you give it away. Unless you order it for takeout, unless you order a bag of bread in takeout,
Right.
that is being given to your patrons as they're sitting and waiting for their food.
Yeah.
Right? It's a common, we'll call it a semi-common practice in restaurants, but yours is next level, right? Because it's so specific to what you do. And no, I don't think anyone should even or will even try to replicate it because it's so unique to the Cruise and Mirror restaurants that it is unreal. Everybody talks about the bread. Nobody can have a conversation about going to Cruise and Mirror where the bread doesn't come up.
Yeah, and it's not just the bread. There's like the special with it is the casino butter. I mean, I don't know what you guys put in that. I know we're going to have the police chief on later, so we won't talk about crack or anything like that. But there is something between the warm bread, the poppy seeds, the butter, and I'll leave that there because there's so much more to Cruise and Mirror and all of the restaurants. What's the most popular dish?
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
It's so good. My wife changes it up. She does blackened chicken on it.
That's a pro move right there.
Oh, that's a pro move. With the bread,
we just talked about the chef not having to make a whole bunch of different things, Kevin.
Man.
Okay.
So I've always liked to dunk the bread in pizza sauce. Yeah. So you order a side of pizza sauce, or you can order a side of their Caesar dressing, which is also obnoxiously good. How good the Caesar dressing is, because you guys home make that. That's made. That is not normal Caesar dressing. So those are some pro dips, some dippers for the bread. Oh yeah, yeah. It's lots of garlic. But man, the hot bread with the cold pizza sauce. That is special.
And this season, obviously down here, has, I know, helped all of our businesses. Each of them have, continued to grow. Talk to us a little bit about over the years, going on 20 years now, how you guys have either adjusted, how you guys have seen this season grow business. I've heard a few stories. I think Heather Toko from Home Bakery, as well as Nancy Sylvia, the mayor, has shared how it is for staff that people are more generous in the season and things like that. How has it affected your guys' business? Because I know it's affected each of ours.
We can pay our bills for the whole year just off of the sales.
Got it.
This month. to mention the employees. I mean, yeah, people are a lot more generous during the holidays, but I mean, we're offering more hours to the hourly. The wait staff are making a lot more money. There's more shifts to be had. So it's not only just our business, but the employees are taking care of their families because we're just such a huge influx of people.
Yeah.
We treat this whole time. I mean, it's basically an event. Like it's this ongoing month long, month and a half, just event,
six week event.
Right. So we have to
every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to plan accordingly. It starts in probably about October with hiring staff and making sure we have enough and training, and we want to make sure that when the people get here that we're going to be prepared to take care of them. And so I mean there's a lot of planning going into it. Because it is an event, and it's just done tremendous things for the city of Rochester. And I don't think anybody could have thought that this was going to be what it is now, thinking back, like you said, 20 years or so, and how it started.
I think there's a lot of cities that would have tried to steal it first.
Yeah.
For sure.
If they had known what this was going to do, because I think there are cities all over, and I'm sure when Christy comes on, we'll talk about that have tried to replicate this, that have tried to figure out, how do we get a little bit of that magic in our town? Because this really has been huge for the city of Rochester. And I know it's been big for your businesses.
Attention. You look at some of these magazines and some of the hotspot holiday places that you can go, and all of a sudden flipping through and you see Rochester, Michigan, you're like, what?
It's only a matter of time before we're a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful.
It's only a matter of time before Hallmark shows up here and shoots a
My wife
movie.
would love that.
So will mine. Yeah, my wife will.
I think all of ours. Well, for those of you who are watching, or maybe you're watching this later, Cruise and Mirror certainly is a wonderful spot. Alex, you guys have been involved in this community in so many different ways. I see your names on, sponsorship for events, not just in this season. You guys are supporting, the nonprofits in the area, youth sports teams. You guys are doing it right. And I know, as I've heard Kevin talk more behind the scenes than I've got to witness about the culture of each of your restaurants, the amazing opportunities that you give to people, the amazing food. We just want to say, going into the season, we wish you guys absolutely the very best. Thanks for taking just a few minutes today, joining us. And as you do, again, from the depths of both of us, we're both saps, so we won't cry. But the bread definitely makes us cry, and we just want to say thanks. It's really been a huge pleasure. If you're tuning in out there, make sure you take a minute, go and visit. It's 5 restaurants, right? 6. I'm so sorry. 6 restaurants throughout Metro Detroit here. Be generous to the wait staff. Take time. Thank them for what they're doing. And Pat, Alex, thanks so much for joining us.
And
today.
when you're there, enjoy the food. You have my personal guarantee. You're going to love it. If you haven't been there before, you need to get there.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's special. I will be in quite a bit, which I know is super shocking to both of you. Depending on which restaurant. No, never. I think if I go like 3 days without being in a Cruise and Mirror restaurant, I feel like I get a call from somebody. They're like, "Where is he?" It's like you noticed in the bottom line. They're like, "Where's Kevin?" Well, thank you guys again. Loved having you guys on today. Good luck over the season, just like EJ said, and thank you guys so much for everything you do. And
appreciate you having us on.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Well, as we transition here and invite our next special guest up, I want to just share a few quick fun facts with you. Every building downtown between University and I believe is it First, Kevin? First or Second Street?
Second Street.
Second Street is lit up. Over 1.5 million lights that are out there, and the display has some really neat features tonight. When we welcome everybody, there's even some unique setups in this. And when I say unique, what I mean by that is with the flip of a single switch, everything is synchronized. So tonight, when we do the countdown, and the lights turn on, they are just going to turn on.
And I don't know who won the bid, but so the event that was this past Friday.
Okay.
On Friday night, they do the Festival of Trees, which is a big fundraising event for the city of Rochester. We do the Festival of Trees, which is at the community house, and there's Christmas trees everywhere that can be bid on. They can be purchased. The ornaments that are actually on the tree behind us came from that. I actually bid them. Very excited. I got the winning bid. These are all businesses in Rochester and buildings in Rochester, which is super cool. And we've done that event over and over the years. But in that event, one of the things that can be bid on is a tree that comes with
the Switch.
The Switch.
Wait a second.
So people don't know that. That is an auctioned
item. Really?
That you can, they auction it off every year. The person who gets to come on stage with Santa and push the button to turn the lights on.
Please don't tell my kids that. I know both of our kids end up watching our stuff.
I'm putting everybody on right now because people will hear that later and be like, oh no. But no, that's a thing. It is auctioned off every single year at the Festival of Trees. You can buy it now at the Festival of Trees last Friday night. So it's already been purchased for this year.
Yeah.
Sorry. But next year, if you go to that event, one of the trees comes with
the button.
Yeah.
What color is it?
I don't know. We'll ask Christy when she gets there.
Okay.
She's always standing next to it. So let's not forget when Christy comes on, we have to ask her.
Yeah, we will. I'll write it down in a minute here. Before you know it, this whole downtown is going to be lit up. It's going to be glowing, a whole bunch of different colors, and just amazement. The amount of smiles, Kevin, we see down here. But before that happens, I just saw the Channel 7 truck go by. They wanted to take some tips and pointers from us, so I'm sure they'll be in.
We'll give them a class real quick.
But would you introduce our next guest here?
I'd be more than happy to. So Christina Gaskin is actually a very good friend of mine. Her and her family are great friends of ours. And we'll talk a little bit about her business and the progress of that. But I can tell you there's probably no place in Rochester that my wife spends more money than at Beeseam Boutique. It is a very regular logoed bag that I see inside of our home between their live sales and coming into the store. I know that is a common one for us, but Women's Boutique here in downtown Rochester that does an incredible job, constantly is having new items, new things, new features, staying on top of fashion, staying on top of trends, making sure that every single woman in downtown Rochester is properly dressed for every event. So we got Christina Gaskins coming on, one of the owners. So come on up. Don't be shy. She's not really shy. She loves the camera and the camera loves her.
I hate the camera.
Don't worry about the headphones. There's not too much noise in the background yet. So those are more for when it gets crazy busy. Well,
right.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'm excited that you're here. Are you excited for tonight?
Yeah.
Excited or nervous?
No, not nervous.
Are you guys throwing a party?
I don't know. I mean, we're open for business, so maybe a little mixture of both, right? But yeah.
Because inside your shop a lot of times is a fun time, right?
It
It's
is,
not,
yeah.
it's an experience. So tell us about that. Let's start there. Tell us a little bit about the boutique and then tell us a little bit about kind of how that came about.
Yeah, so our boutique is so I'm one of the owners. My friend Jessica is the other owner. And it kind of started, I had a boutique down here, kind of totally different vibe. And we just went on a shopping, like a buying trip together. Long story short, we went to Dallas as two separate business owners and came back as one business. So that was in January. In March, we kind of revamped the space. And Beeseam Boutique was born. So the vibe in the store is just, it's trendy, it's fashionable, but it's comfortable. I don't know. We just try and have something for everybody.
Let me ask this question. So you just touched on it, and it's always a question that I'm not sure because I hear this term and I don't know. You went to a buying event.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So there's like Dallas has like their big market center, and then there's this other platform called Magic Fashion. They have Vegas, New York, Nashville. So it's where all the vendors that we buy from. We'll get together for a few days. And
So are you
display
actually
their items.
purchasing the clothes? Or are you seeing what trends or fashion trends they have coming up? What's
a little bit of both.
okay.
Like we were ordering, so we're not taking anything with us normally, but we're ordering for the next season or the next.
So it's like ordering futures, right?
Exactly.
You're going in
Yeah.
and seeing what's coming up that people are going to be interested in, and then finding ways to bring that to the public.
Yeah. So you kind of, works well together and merchandise well together. So trying to like plan out the entire season from like 1 or 2 buying shows. So it gets a little tricky, but it's fun.
So you're literally taking the role of like the fashionista of town, of you guys going and making sure you're staying on top of those trends. So again, the women in this town can look
We
perfect
try.
at all times.
We try. So we pick stuff out. We're like hoping that everyone likes it as much as we do. And I think for the most part,
well, based on every time I walk in, because I come in regularly just to pick stuff up for Sarah. She's like, "Hey, can you grab my bag?" Sure. And the entire front of the store is full of bags. Almost every day, it seems like you must be doing pretty well at it.
Yeah, our live sales do well, and we're getting a little bit more traction just from the website, like people from even out of state, like that will just shop our website. And
where did the live sale come from? Because for those of you who don't understand, it's not just coming into the store, right? I mean, you can come in and you can go, you guys are right there. I can see right from here. You can go into the store and shop traditional shopping, but your live sales, touch on that, because I know that's been really, really big for you, which is funny why I say you don't like the camera, because you're on the camera all the time. You're on camera as much as I am.
Yeah. So the live sale actually started back in 2020, kind of when COVID took over. With my other boutique, we were shut down, right? Like we couldn't. So like in order to sell, I started doing these live sales, which is I kind of like do like a fashion show almost. We have an app or Facebook, Instagram. We stream on multiple platforms, and I try them on. I try on the new arrivals. I discuss how it fits, and then people can buy them. And so that's kind of how it started during COVID.
So when you try on, let's say you try on a top, right? Let's say it's the top that you have on right now. Is that typically selling out on the live sale?
Sometimes.
Because I've had my wife tell me before, she's like, I have to buy this right now. If I don't, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like it won't exist.
My wife says that too. I think it's a ploy, Kevin.
Are they just getting us? Are we being scammed? See, that's why I've got her on camera right now, so she can't lie to me.
Right.
This is great for me because I get to find out like what's actually happening behind the scenes.
Right.
I will say some certain sizes do usually sell out during a live. So there are some things that like we had a top this morning. We did a live this morning. One of the tops is gone. Like we can't reorder it. It's gone. So
gone
no one got
forever.
it.
Too bad, so sad.
Too bad, yeah. But there's other things that do.
Okay, so
they are available. So it just depends.
Sarah thanks you for that protection.
Yeah, I agree. So does Abby. Christina, I think that downtown, we've talked with a couple of other guests, has grown so much. Yeah. Certainly, your guys' boutique has as well. Give us a little bit of the overall. Obviously, you guys are a fashion boutique for women. Tell us a little bit about the product range that you guys have. And in the season, do you guys change it up? Does it go real Christmassy, or like what should people expect when they come in?
Yeah, so it does depend on when you come in, because last week we were very much like fall and Thanksgiving colors, and now we've like switched to more like reds and greens. And,
got it.
More like Christmassy and holiday stuff. So yeah, it kind of depends. We do try and change things because we are small. We don't buy in bulk,
right?
So we try and keep our quantities pretty limited, so that way everyone, even though we would love to dress everyone in Rochester, we don't want everyone wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
Then it loses like the boutique feel.
Well, it's really funny you said that, because my sweet Abby came in and we were going to an event that was like, it was for our kids' elementary school. Okay. And we know the amount of moms that come in and, shop with you guys. And she was like, am I going to show up to this event, with the same shirt, the same blouse, I should say blouse, as somebody else? And I was like, Abby, I don't think so from them. Like it's just so unique. But the thing I love is that when you guys are in there, and I think Kevin would share this, even if my wife doesn't buy something, which is very few and far between, she comes back and she's like, oh, it was a good shopping time. Yeah. Like
she just has fun.
There's something about it with you guys. What is that special touch? Can you pinpoint it, or is it just you guys?
Maybe it's just us.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's all right.
But I always like, even when we're hiring people, when we have like team meetings, it's always like, listen, it's a business, right? Like we're there to sell things, we're there to make money, but also like I never want anyone leaving the boutique having a bad experience, whether they buy something or not. So I'd rather have someone come in, have a good experience, be greeted, have a conversation with whether it's me or Jessica, whoever else is working. And if they don't find something that, like I said, things do sell out. So maybe something they are looking for, we don't have their size or the color, they don't like the way the color looks on them or whatever the case may be. I just want them to have a good experience. So they do come back.
Yeah.
And they'll think about us the next time they have an event or need something.
Yeah. You guys come back from this buyer show, and as you do, I'm sure there's conversations, whether it be on the plane or that type of thing. Yeah. And there is a unique portion of your business at the very heart of it. When you guys, lock the doors up at the end of the night and you have that really good feeling, which I can just tell by, your smile that this is a business that not only means something to you, but you're passionate about.
Yeah, for sure.
What is it that you want people to walk away with when they come in?
I think we just, like I said, Jessica and I, we're both moms. So like we have that in mind. We're busy. We're transporting kids for activities and, we're just normal people. So like the clothes that we wear and we want other people to wear, like we want them to feel good in what they wear, to look good in what they wear. And I think that's kind of really like the basis about what we buy when we buy things. And I don't know. I feel like that's a big part of like the store and
you're borderline selling confidence.
Exactly.
Right?
Kind of, yeah.
You're selling confidence.
That's good, Kevin.
Yeah. And
I think that's very true because, I say it all the time. Moms have the hardest job in the world. And at times that can be like the exact shot in the arm that they need is that new pair of jeans that fits great, the new, the new accessory, the new blouse, that type of thing. And you guys do just fantastic job of that. What in this season is it about the lights that you feel like either boosts people coming in? What does it do for your business overall?
So I think for us, it's a lot of just exposure.
Yeah.
With us, again, our live sales do well, but we have very loyal customers that like shop with us live in store constantly. But it is hard as a small boutique to really kind of get exposure outside the Rochester area. So I feel like it does help bring a lot of people who maybe otherwise wouldn't find us to downtown. Obviously, tonight is going to be packed. The streets are packed. And
to say the least.
To say the least, yeah. But it's still a really good sales night for us. I mean, some events down here, like where the streets are so packed, maybe not so much. But tonight, like people are coming down, like everyone's in like holiday spirit. And it just puts everyone in a good mood. We have the music going, we have snacks, we have drinks, and it helps expose people that maybe otherwise wouldn't.
And for you, it may not just be like, tonight and some of the events are good for exposure, but having the lights on, I have to believe throughout the holiday season probably brings extra people in. They may come 100%. Down for an extra dinner or an extra whatever it is, and they're more likely to stop and say, hey, I'm going to get some of my shopping done while I'm down here.
Yeah. Exactly. And we do try and like ramp up like our gift section and things like that. So even if they're not, because sometimes buying clothing for people is too hard. So, but buying the little gifts or accessories and things like that, we try and really ramp up that section of the store.
So like when I come in for my stocking stuffers every year for Sarah.
Stocking stuffers, 100%. We're just, trying to, people come in looking for that really hard to buy for a person. They don't really want to buy something like online, so they're not sure what it's going to look like when they end up getting it. So I feel like it's really helpful for those people just a little glimpse of what we do.
Have you seen it uptick over the years? So it's been 20 years they've been doing the lights. How long have you guys been open now?
Since 2021.
2021.
So this will be our 4th year.
So 4th year. As those years have progressed, have you seen a progression yourself in activity and action during the holidays?
Oh yeah, I mean the last couple of years, especially because they haven't always closed Main Street, right?
Right. This will be year 3 of them closing Main Street.
Once Main Street was, it was insane.
Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, adding in the fireworks, all the extra stuff that they do now is, and from what we were just told, there's surprises tonight. I don't know what they are, but we were told there's surprises.
Yeah,
so I'm excited.
Paul, he's the OG, so we'll take it.
Nothing. We're gonna ask Christy that too, or Chief. Chief's coming on soon, so I can be like, what do we got, Chief?
Yeah. Now the live sales, I haven't heard Abby talk about the live sales yet. Tell us a little bit about those. You guys go live from your webpage or from Facebook. Where do you guys?
So we have an app.
Okay.
So we stream in the app, and then yes, we also stream on our Facebook and Instagram pages.
Okay.
And we usually do it once a week. Sometimes it just depends. Like
Right.
again, schedules and stuff. We try to have it every Tuesday night, but like we did one this morning.
Okay.
My wife sets an alarm. Not kidding. There's a standing alarm on her phone for the live.
Okay, so you're showing
It's a thing.
off. You're showing off the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
And are you guys styling those as well, so they can
Yeah.
kind of get like the full?
100%.
Love
Yeah,
that.
And, if we have, again, Jessica and myself, like she's a lot she's more petite and stuff. So again, she can wear like things certain ways, and I wear things certain
Yeah.
ways. It looks different, right? So that is one thing, especially if we have like multiple colors of one item. We'll style it different ways. Like I might wear it more dressy, and she'll wear it more casual.
Got it.
And that's a big part of like when we buy, we want to find things that are like versatile. Like
Yeah.
people can wear more than one way or
Well,
more than one time.
In the live sale, from what I've seen and my observations of it, because I think it's a brilliant idea, because what it does is it creates a community.
Mhm.
So what Sarah will say, like she knows that her friends are on it too, so they're texting on the
Yeah,
side and they're
yeah.
texting you, and like it becomes this like girls' night out at the boutique.
Love it.
So it becomes a real fun situation of, hey, did you get that top? Yeah, I did. No, I passed on that one. I got this one. And so it'd be this amazing community of women that are all excited to shop together, even though they're all in their own space. And then sometimes they're in the shop. So it's like completely expanded the shopping experience and changed that culture completely, which is pretty neat.
And Christina, do you guys ship those items out? Do they come pick them
So
up?
they have a choice.
They do.
They can either come pick it up in store or we ship it to them. So.
Wow.
And in
Love
store,
that.
they're setting bags. They've got your order on there. They're all in the front of the store. You can come in and
Yeah.
pick up your stuff, and it's all there ready to go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Man, it's changed so much.
I think it's completely changed the game on shopping.
Yeah.
And so I think of you guys as a great example. I hear a lot of complaints nowadays about retail and how retail is dying. And the online shopping is taking retail down.
Yeah.
But what this has done for you guys is this is blended online shopping with
Yeah,
retail,
right.
and actually has found a way to make sure that both can still coexist. And I'm sure that the live sales have helped the store, and the store has helped the live sales. The fact that you have a physical location is part of the reason why that works, right?
Yes.
So having the physical, talk about that for a second, just how the physical location still matters.
Yeah, 100%. So we have a lot of people who choose to pick up their orders in store. But when they come in to pick up, they also are looking at other things that we have, or maybe something that they weren't sure how it was going to look on them in the live, so they want to come in and try it on. But also, like the people who have no idea, we do live sales. Like we have postcards. Like anyone new, like it's a postcard. It has a QR code with our app that they can download. You know, hopefully they'll we get new live sale viewers, and
You should teach a retail class in Rochester.
Yeah.
Well, you're like, no, don't sign me up for any of that garbage. No, but it's because it's such a neat idea, right? And when I get individuals or I talk to people that are like, oh, I'm bummed, not enough people come in my store.
Yeah.
What is it about that? Oh, retail's dying. They go into the humdrums of all the problems.
Yeah.
You guys took a problem during COVID, which is we can't open our store,
Right.
created a solution that has changed your business.
Yeah, it has changed. I mean, we have, again, I would say probably maybe 2 years ago. I mean, we were maybe more, our sales came more from our live sales than it did for a hot second. It's kind of switched back to, we have more in-store sales now than live sales or than online orders. And I think as people are coming and looking for that confidence, they're looking for that reassurance when they buy something.
It's creating that
want
exposure
that.
too,
It
right?
is.
The live sales create the exposure to then have the people come through the door. They come in to pick something up, and now they're like, "Ooh, 1 second, let's see what they
Yeah,
got
let
over
me take
here."
a look around.
Now they're doing the
Yeah.
lap and they're
Yeah,
buying more,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
It's taking the online presence and blending it into the retail store, which is pretty fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What do people have to look forward to coming in if they're stopped into your store? If they walk through the front door and they decide to come in to be seen, what can they expect over the holidays? Is there anything special you're doing? Anything different? Anything you want to share?
So we
Any
we've
secrets
done
you
it.
wanna give?
We all probably new arrivals. Probably once a week we're putting out new arrivals, plus the live sales stuff. So there's like lots of new arrivals. one thing that we've done the past couple of years is called our favorite things giveaway.
Okay.
And we do it as like the 12 days of Christmas. So like every day from like December 1st through December 12th, we have a different task for our customers to complete. So it could be buy something from Alive. It could be leave us a review. The calendar is like, it will be posted on our social media pages, and we have like printed copies in the store. For every task they complete, they get an entry. And so
Love it.
We give it
That's
like,
neat.
we have, I think this year, we have like, and we give away like our favorite things, like Jessica, right? So it's like, we have like our Sweet Grace fragrance, like our big selling candles. We give away a bundle of that. Our favorite tanks, we give those away. I think we have a Louis Vuitton this year that we're giving away. So we have some like big ticket items too. And it's just a way for us to give back to the customers that have supported us all year by like giving them a chance to win some fun prizes.
Yeah.
So you're using the holiday season to give back to the people that have given to you all year.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
figure. It's just like tonight, right? Lanyap. It's a
Yes.
little something extra.
Yes.
Do you have anything that you're giving away tonight?
Yeah, we have some gifts with purchase tonight.
Okay.
And we'll have some in-store specials. So,
Nice.
yeah.
So if you're
What's
in
up?
town tonight, make sure you stop into BC
Yeah,
Boutique.
come see us.
And when you're here throughout the holiday season, make sure you stop in and say hi, because what these gals are doing is really, really cool. They have
Yeah.
a great store. It's really
Thank
neat
you.
inside. Like
Yeah.
it's a fun store to be into. And I'm a guy, but it's not a bad one when we stop into
Yeah.
there, because every time we walk by it, we have to go inside.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
if you're in town over the holidays, if you're in town tonight or you're in town throughout the course of the next month, make sure you stop by and say hi. So
Yeah, love
thank
to
you
see
so
ya.
much.
Yeah, thank you
Yep,
so
thanks
much
for coming on.
having me.
And hopefully you guys do great tonight.
Yeah.
Sure we will.
Thanks,
Love it.
Christina,
Thank
for,
you.
Thank you so
for
much.
joining us. You know, as Christina transitions here, I'm going to just pause for a second. You know, the Stewart Realty team here is just such a key. And Kevin, you know, you don't pay me extra to say this, but they're just such a key in this community and the connections between different people. And yeah, some of the folks that are on today are some of our favorite things. Some of them also are just mainstays in the community. And I think the next one is, I think, one of our overall favorites. We get a different view right now, but next up on the podcast, the show here.
She's bringing on a
Yeah, I'm
Gosh, I like this.
super
Should we
excited.
put that prop right there, right behind the joist?
Yeah,
there?
I think so.
Right, because
Um,
there's nobody going to be sitting here. So I think if we,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking locationally. I'm just seeing what's coming on.
I mean, I'm trying to create a little bit of anticipation
I
here
know it's kind of fun.
because this person creates a ton of anticipation downtown.
Actually, a lot of what she does is anticipation
Th-
because people
that's-
can't wait for what the next idea
That's
is.
true. And, you know, as we talk about it, this is actually going to be pretty unique because the next guest not only is a favorite here in Rochester, but now has become a national
Yes.
favorite.
Yep. National favorite for a lot of different reasons.
I agree.
One which we're going to see here in a second, and the other for something that happened this time last year. So most people will understand here in a second. Looks like Hannah's
coming in.
over.
Yeah,
we're
by
getting
all means.
texted.
So
We're going to put that.
here's what we're going to do. I'm
Let's
going
put it right
to
there.
just pause for a second, everybody up here, because I don't want to
We're gonna
like,
put it
you know,
right-
I don't want to completely ruin the surprise. So we'll be back in just one second here as we set some stuff up. And we're going to welcome a very special guest, many of that you know, Heather Toko.
Let's do this. You just pause the cameras. Yeah. I like that you brought your pom-pom. I do.
Oh, she's coming in. I love this. You're probably really
This is
used
fun.
to
We're
the
gonna talk
cameras
about
right
this.
now, huh? Are you really used to the cameras right now?
I'll tell you what happened in January completely changed everything for me. I mean, am I comfortable? No, I'm a little clammy right now.
Yeah.
Before, I would crawl under this table.
Okay.
And now I'm.
Kevin, introduce the I think the
I'm
most
gonna have
fabulous
you
in the
scoot
city.
over towards
Yeah,
me.
we'll get adjusted here.
Come a little
Where am I
farther.
looking?
You can go
Um,
right into that one
into
where
that
Summer
one right
is.
there.
Yeah, we'll give you
Yep,
guys
that's
that one.
That's kind of the middle, so you can see us right
There we go. We're good when you are, Mr. Kevin.
there. We're back.
We're back.
We're back live. All right, guys. Well, we're back, and we have the Heather Toko. So it's funny. We just had a conversation about camera readiness, which you were just telling us a story that you used to be a little camera shy, but you're probably not as camera shy nowadays, are you?
No, everything has changed. Everything has changed.
So what all has changed? Give us your adventure, because the last 12 months of your life have been very different. So give us a quick synopsis of that. What's happened for those of people who need to hear?
So we had a cake in our window, St. Brown, that went viral. And because of that, we had the incredible opportunity, when I say we, myself, I auditioned for Harry Potter Wizards of Baking and was cast on the show. So I spent 3 weeks in London filming on the sets of Harry Potter. I mean, you can tell I'm a fan, right?
Yeah, I love it.
We've got a little bit of Harry Potter out here.
Yeah.
She's even got her
Gryffindor.
House Gryffindor pom-pom.
We'll be giving these away tonight.
Oh.
To the kids.
Ooh,
Love
that's
that.
a little something special. That's the little Yon Knob giveaway.
There you go.
You heard it here first. So tell us about that experience. So I know that it was funny because I saw you made a post of it, and then I'm texting you as we're watching the first show because we had family night around it. How did that happen? Was it off of the St. Brown stuff? Where did this come about? Where did the Harry Potter come about?
So one of the Weasley twins, who are the hosts, James and Oliver Phelps, saw the St. Brown thing and sent me not an invitation to audition, but sent me the audition stuff. Soon after a few Zoom meetings, I was on a plane to LA doing an in-person audition, and a few weeks after that, I got the phone call that I was going to be on the season 2 Wizards of Baking, and my world changed, right? It was insanity.
So where was it shot?
London.
In London.
Yep.
How long were you there?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So you spent 3 weeks in London being on a TV show. How many networks was it on? It was on multiple networks.
Yeah, it's on HBO, Discovery Plus, Food Network, YouTube, TLC. It's everywhere.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
We had a great time watching it. And it's still going on,
Yep.
right? So it's still airing. So tell us a little bit about your experience on the show. What was it like? I've never been on TV. I've been on kind of TV, but not that kind of TV.
Yeah, it was surprisingly normal, but also extremely high pressure. It was, I'm doing what I'm good at. There just happens to be cameras around, and you have this much time to do something this big.
Yeah. There's actually a clock going,
Yes,
right? That's actually real.
that's
right?
real. Yeah.
'Cause that's always been one of my questions. Like, is the amount of time they're giving you actually how much time they're
Oh,
giving
yeah.
you?
Hands off. When they say hands off, it's hands off. And I was paired with a woman from Nashville who's a pastry chef, so we were on there together. Her name is Kate. She's wonderful, very talented as well.
Had you met her before then?
No, we were
So when the show kicks off, you've never met your partner.
correct.
And from the parts of the show that I watch, each of you kind of had your specialty of what you were supposed to do, right? And yours was more of the aesthetics,
Decorating
correct?
side,
So the
yeah.
decorating side, and hers was more of the tasting side.
For the most
Ish.
part, yes. She's a talent. She's got a lot of talent in the decorating side too. Seen some. Now that's not her career. She's
Mhm.
a pastry, but I needed help. She helped me. She needed help. I helped her.
What a cool dynamic. I know my son, because he still hasn't come in, but you're famous in his eyes. Just so you know, you're famous. you're the closest thing to a celebrity that he's met. And I think whether he comes, it won't be tonight, but in the coming weeks, you'll get a text from me that's like, hey, Jesse, are you there? Or Jesse's coming in because he wants to meet you. Because he's decided, he even said, he goes, Dad, he loves baking. He goes, Dad, I want to, maybe sometime can I go see Miss Heather and she can show me how to make things? And I was like, I bet you that she would have that conversation with you, buddy. He's like, that's going to be so cool, Dad. So just know little things like that go more beyond than just exposure for the bakery. They also go into things, exposure for young ones that get to watch you and then get to see you in person and go, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Someday I want to do this or that, which is fun.
Yeah, I did have a little experience where a family came in and the boy, who's probably 5, 6, and he goes, Mom, it's really her. And it was just such a moment that made me feel good. Like I was somebody he was looking up to, and it's pretty special.
Well, and we talked about this. I remember the moment when you were on the Beyond Bricks podcast with me, where we were discussing the almond rock cake and having the discussion that what you did is you listened, you saw what was happening in the world, and you decided to take action, right? And then you didn't know where it was going to go, you didn't know what it was going to do, but the best part that I loved hearing about that was you discussing how much it meant to the community and how much it meant to the people around you and how much it meant to the server and the bartender that came in that talked about how much it affected her and it affected her job. And so because you were willing to take action and you were willing to do something that was completely outside of what was normal, you made a big impact on the community and the other people in the community. So talk a little bit about that and what that journey has been like to now become one of the big staples. Home bakery's always been a staple in this town, but what you've done to put your own spin and change on the home bakery has been really special. So talk a little bit about that and maybe a little bit about the ties with the community.
I've always wanted to have a moment where people come in and create memories, right? What happened in January with the St. Brown window was huge, right? And I always knew it was important, but when the community came out in the way that they did, some with tears in their eyes, sending letters and cards and kids coloring photos, it made me realize how much we need it. And now I'm trying to figure out how not to keep the momentum for myself, but if I can do what I love with this great team behind me, and it can bring such a positive impact to the community. I need to keep this recipe going. I need to keep I want that feeling again, right?
How do you recreate it, right? How do you continue to recreate the momentum and the experience? Because the experience was way more than you. It was the experience for what it meant to everyone around. And that was the most special part of hearing you unpack that story. And people are welcome to listen to that whole episode. I think they should, because it's a great story about taking care of the people around you and taking action and taking that leap of faith of doing something that's a little scary and just seeing what happens and having a great success story that, goodness, great things can happen when you take action.
Right.
So talk about the city of Rochester. We got the lights coming on. Me and EJ have been sitting here talking with people.
I mean, I got to see it again this morning. The other day, our family was walking around. I saw the brand new display for this season. I think this is just a little bit of a highlight here. But there is an absolutely stunning, Kevin mentioned it on your episode. You talked about like having to be creative, each time to make that window pop. And it does again. Every single time you guys blow us away. Obviously, tonight's going to be an amazing celebration. You guys add so much to that. This season, obviously, there's a play with the show that's happening, right, around the Harry Potter theme. But talk to us a little bit about what goes into making those window displays.
So a lot of planning, right? A lot of measuring, a lot of engineering. This window is extra special because Harry Potter is so dear to me.
Right.
And obviously, being on the baking show, we wanted to turn it into something a little exciting. So not only do we have a lot of magic, but we have a moving quill and a moving snitch. We have floating candles and stuff like that, but we've turned it into a scavenger hunt that you'll scan a QR code on the window.
Okay. Yeah, let's hold that back up.
So guys, I'm looking at this.
Let's
right
show
now.
that right there. Okay,
So,
love that.
Here it is. Let me turn it a little bit.
Okay, so scavenger hunt, is it specific to home bakery?
It's Harry Potter.
Okay.
So if you're a diehard Harry Potter fan, there's so many little Easter eggs in our window, and I don't want to give it away, but if you actually take the time and look at it, you are going to. It's very cool. We have a lot of Harry Potter fans.
A lot.
That work within our walls, so we're just snowballing off of each other. What if we did this? And Sirius Black, when he's in his animal form, is Padfoot, so we've got a little nod to that in there. And then, we recreated our lion from the first episode. It kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions and
Mhm.
Harry Potter. House Gryffindor.
In the intricacies of that, watching you guys, was it airbrush that you were doing on there?
Yes.
I would have never imagined.
It's just like the windows. I mean, every time, the amount of times I have had conversations with somebody, whether it's walking by in person or talking to somebody, and we're not even in town, where people are like, no, seriously, like that window's edible, like that window's actually cake, and I'm like, no, yeah, the entire window, outside of maybe some stands, but usually the entire window is made of cake, which is crazy.
Yeah, excluding the Christmas tree. We didn't make that.
Okay.
If you made a Christmas, that'd be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is that. It's
You're like,
the amount
don't
of
know.
labor. I've done little pine sprays before. It's not worth it.
Now-
It's just not worth the extra time. So this scavenger hunt, I'm going to read this for those of you who are watching. But you got to scan the QR code to start the scavenger hunt, test your knowledge and keen eyesight, submit, and you'll receive links on social media. Like and follow us on social media and tag us in your post to enter the chance to win $300, $150, and $50 gift cards that can be used inside the home bakery. So if you play this game and you get in the game on this, there's a chance that you could feed your family for the holidays. But things like, because we're going to talk about those in a second.
Yeah, we got to talk about those.
Well, because we're going to get to eat one, right? I haven't ate.
I
one
pray
yet.
we do.
EJ's favorite thing. So
Kevin asked me, he said, who are we going to have on? And, we're sitting down and we were sitting almost right here, Heather, and we were talking through the different people. Obviously your name came up top of the list. And I said, Kevin, I don't know if it's too much, but I know how connected you are. Will you please ask Heather if she'll bring some cronuts? And I'm not even going to ask the amount.
I parentheses. I was like, i.e. the cronuts.
Yeah. So this is one of the staples. Obviously, you guys have some of the best cakes around. I would, personally say the best cakes around. Whatever the event is, whether it's a christening, a baptism, weddings. I've seen some just unreal cakes that you guys have done, different special events. But you guys have a lot of staples that keep people coming in over and over. The cronuts are one of them. The amazing cookies you guys have. Is the cronut your favorite bakery item, or is that too cliche?
It's not. I'm a little more classic.
Okay.
A bear claw or an almond maple walnut Danish.
Okay,
I'm all over it.
that's your go-to.
Yeah.
Okay, now a cronut itself, walk me through without revealing the secrets. What type of process this is?
So the process is similar to if you've ever made a croissant.
I haven't. Let's be real.
So it's a laminated dough.
Okay.
And it is croissant dough, which is then deep fried, and then we make a vanilla bean pastry cream that we put
The
inside.
vanilla bean pastry cream
Lord.
is just silly. He's an
Wow.
Lord.
And
But
then we top it.
and then
for
you
a
top them and
holiday.
you change them throughout the seasons
Yeah.
and all sorts of stuff. Because the cronut's been a staple there
Yeah.
for a while. And I know a lot of people, just like we had Cruzamir on earlier, you can't talk about Cruzamir without talking about the bread. You can't really talk about the home bakery without talking about the cronut because it's so unique, right? There's other places that have tried it. There's other places that have done something similar, but none that nail it.
No,
not like this. This
No.
is it's a completely different situation.
I don't even know that replicate is a fair word. I think imitate, and imitation can be a great form of
Pretend.
flattery, but there's just, nothing that compares to a cronut. And I don't even know what else to say about it, Heather. They're just that good. In this season, with all of the lights happening, with all of the hustle and bustle here downtown, what do you feel like is just the overall favorite thing for you about downtown Rochester?
I absolutely love the late nights. So during the Big Bright Light Show, we're open Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays till 9.
Okay, hold on. I want to stop you because one of my little riffs downtown here, and I'm going to pull this out, Kevin.
I love it. This is the perfect time. I know exactly what you're about to say.
That some of the proprietors down here don't stay open a little bit later. You guys are. I love that.
You have to. The community, you want them in the doors. You want them to. It's a holiday tradition. I feel like.
Yes.
In a bakery, Christmas goes hand in hand. It's a must.
It has to.
Yeah.
It is. It's a huge part of the community. And Kevin's preparing. My mouth is starting to water
I'm about to
a
look you
little
up,
bit.
AJ. I got you.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna cut these up
I don't think I can make this joke, but maybe I will.
because Chief's about to come.
Chief's
on.
about
If
to
we
come
don't-
on, so we'll
if we
keep an
don't-
extra set
you
of
want a
donuts up
cronut?
here.
Chief,
you know,
want a cronut when you come on?
I'm sure he.
Jamie,
he
you
does.
want one when you come on too? We're saving.
We got some great other people on deck too. As Kevin cuts into that, Heather, what you have done for this greater community, whether it's the events, it's how you guys have been involved. I know continues to evolve, but it also is continuing to make an impact further and further and further. Oh, you sneak that. Home Bakery has not only become a staple in our community, it's a go-to, and you guys just do so much. I know that it has helped overall put Rochester even further on the map than it already was. And it's amazing business owners like you who make this city one of the most desirable to move to in the state. And, Kevin, I'm going to let you have the last word here because I want to dive into this. I can't wait. Just from our family, thanks for all you guys do in this community. It's a blessing. So thank you.
Yeah, same thing. I can't say it enough. I mean, just what you guys do and the way in which you do it inside this community is super special. Because I can see, I get a chance to talk to you a lot, and I get a chance to, text message back and forth, and had the chance to have you on the podcast and really get in depth in conversation. I don't think the general person out there realizes how much you care. And so what I hope people see and they can get to know about you and what I appreciate. So I need to make sure I say thank you for how much you care, because it's not about you. In fact, I think that you actually get too frustrated when it is or does become about you. I see that a lot in you, and I've heard you say it, and I've heard you reiterate when no one else is watching, that you don't want it to be about you. You want it to be about your team. You want it to be about the people that come into your bakery. You want it to be about the customer, about the little kid that comes in that wants to meet you, about the city of downtown, about what it does for the other businesses, what it does for the restaurants and the servers. Most of what I hear from you is that you care about the people that you take care of and you serve. So thank you, because what you do for this community, like EJ just said, not only is enjoyable for our palate and our bellies, but it's enjoyable for the growth and stability. I'll say the stability of this city. It matters. What you do matters.
Well, can I say this though? It really truly takes a village.
Mhm.
I care, but so does the community, right? They're supporting me as much as, and that's the beautiful thing about being a business owner in Rochester. What the city does, our DDA, just the community in general, they embrace us. They give you 10 times more of what you put out, and it's I got goosebumps right now thinking about it. It's just,
well, this whole city gives, and tonight's an example of that, right? Lanyap, it's what it is. It's a little something extra, and your ability to do that, you live it, right? You live the meaning of this event. because you're always doing that. But you're right. The city does such a good job. The DDA, everything that happens inside this city is really special because we take care of each other. It's my favorite part of this city is that we take care of each other.
So true.
And I enjoy being able to do it with people like you because you get it and you feel it, which is why you're perfect for Rochester. Rochester's perfect for you. So thank you for coming on with us today. I'm also going to enjoy a bite of this cronut, and probably we will have these out. So the next couple of guests get really lucky.
Yes,
Chief
they
is
do.
going to enjoy one. I'm telling you, it's got his name all over it. Let's do this. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break.
Yep.
We'll be back in a minute, and we'll be back with our next guest. So
Great. Heather, thanks again for coming. Have a great day.
Always a good time.
So I get to take a second to wipe my mouth off because I still am eating this cronut. So.
I know, me too.
Thanks for
How good are they?
Well, those are the best I've ever eaten. I must have ate a dozen of them last year when Detroit Lions.
Was it just a coincidence or as the painter said, a happy accident that we got to get a cronut right now and we happen to have the chief of police on with us? Is that odd?
I don't really like donuts, but
well, you can have
if
one.
I have a bite, I won't stop.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm going to
with you,
eat it
Chief.
the entire time. He's like, I will be smashing that
I'll be
that
passed
cronut
out.
the
I'll
entire
be out in
time.
30 seconds.
Kevin gave me half, which I'm a little upset by, but I'm almost clean plate club here. If this wasn't live, I would be licking the plate
it.
for
I
sure.
think you should lick it. I think it
Um,
actually makes more fun if you lick.
Professional up here.
I appreciate
So
that.
I'm not gonna touch the donuts.
And,
Well,
I don't even need donuts.
you know, and professional is a great way to start, certainly with, you know, your team. This tonight we're gonna see, you know, thousands and thousands of people, and even this morning, as you know, we were loading in all the equipment and whatnot, the professionalism is already apparent in your team, and I know that the city of Rochester is so blessed to have you, you know, fairly recently as, you know, our chief of police, and I just can't say enough about you guys. Kevin speaks so highly of you. I know the team is doing a ton of behind the scene things already to keep everybody safe down here. And, you know, Rochester is a unique place. And I'm sure the influx of what's happening over the, you know, the next set of days is laborsome and cumbersome, but it has great rewards. And Kevin, I know the chief's a friend of yours. I'm going to let you guys take the conversation here for a minute and
banter for a minute.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, you came in with big shoes to fill, right? I mean,
did.
big shoes. I mean, how long was
Steve was here
20
for 15 years as chief. which
Yeah,
is
15 years
highly
as chief?
unusual, but
his work ethic was impeccable.
Impeccable. And so I know when we found out that he was leaving and retiring, correct?
Yeah.
When he was retiring, there was a lot of concern. There was a lot of, I'm not going to say fear because that's not the right word, but a lot of, oh no, like how on earth do you replace someone like him? And how does the city even begin to do that? Because changing over a position like this inside of any city is tough.
It is.
Especially when you've had someone that did it at such a high level. And I can say from everything I've seen so far and getting to know you since you've started with the city, you've done a great job of filling those shoes. And you've brought some things to the table that are really, really special for the city. So congratulations and thank you first for that, because you solved the problem with the city that I know a lot of people were very nervous about. But give us a little bit of your background, because I know this is obviously not your first job in police work. You don't become the chief of police. So give us a little bit about your background and a little bit of your side of the story coming into your stay here with the city of Rochester.
Yeah, so when I was younger, I didn't know if I wanted to be a police officer or a firefighter, so I became home. So I started my career off with the city of Fraser back in 1986 as a public safety officer. I worked narcotics for several years. That was one of my favorite parts of the job. You really get to learn a lot about people, and you just become a better police officer overall when you come out of those types of units. But I was in Fraser for 32 years. My last 11 years, I was the director of public safety, so I oversaw the police and the fire department. From there, I went to Macomb College. They hired me as the director of the Public Service Institute. So I had the responsibility of being in charge of the police academy, fire academy, the paramedic program. I was there for a short stint. It just wasn't my wheelhouse. I was just so used to being, making decisions. College is totally different. University level, it's just a lot of committees you have to go through. So I kind of struggled with that. So at the same time, I had applied over at East Point Police Department, and they hired me. I was there almost 5 years, and I was I ran the police and the fire department for 5 years. And a lot busier department than Rochester, but it was kind of funny because my wife and I, we were at the Paint Creek, we were taking a walk, and she goes, you know what, wouldn't it be great if you were the police chief over here in Rochester? I said, that chief will never leave there. It was 1 year later, I was the police chief.
Wow.
It was like a miracle happened. But, I've been here 2.5 years, and I've met so many great people. What a great community. And I don't care where you go. I had a place up north, and people knew where Rochester was. They knew about the light show, the parade, all the events we have here, and that's what we're all about. We were just ranked as the 10th safest city in the state of Michigan, which I'm very proud of. I have 22 full-time officers here, 3 part-time officers, and we have our own dispatchers, which is very unique for a city our size. But we work well with everybody, the business community, our fire department, our Department of Public Works. So it's been a great experience. So this is year 39 for me. People think, man, when are you going to quit? But you know what? I don't have to work. I love working. I love getting up in the morning. You know what? If I can put a smile on someone's face or help them with an issue, I'll stay another 5 or 10.
Well, and you're a very active police chief.
That's right.
You're not one that sits in the background.
No.
And you're one that's out. You're in the community. You're on the streets. You're walking. You're talking. You're chatting. And I think that's what's made you special for this city very quickly, because you've dedicated so much time into getting to know the people that you're serving. And that in and of itself is special. And what a lot of people in Rochester don't, or people in the surrounding communities don't realize, is what you just touched on. You are your own police force, right? Rochester and Rochester Hills Police are different. Oakland County Sheriff, that is different. And you will see, Oakland County Sheriff come through town. You will see, very close, obviously, because we're surrounded by Rochester Hills Police. But Rochester Police is its own police force with its own officers, with its own cars, with its own crew. So, what's that like? Is that a confusion that's regular for you?
We get phone calls, emergency phone calls that they need a police car at such and such address, and we tell them this is Rochester City, not Rochester Hills. Or people will come in our lobby and they want to file a police report, and we look where they live. Well, you have to file it with the County Sheriff's Department, and then they argue. They go, "No, you're our police department." We have to explain to them, "No, we have our own city police. Rochester Hills is a little bit different." But yeah, it is confusing, but
But I think it's partly why we are so safe here in Rochester, because you guys do an incredible job. The amount of events and bodies that come into the city.
Yeah.
Shoot, let's look at the next 45 days. The amount of individual unique visitors are going to pass through this town. To do that and keep it safe at the level in which you do is really, really impressive. It's very impressive. It's got to be difficult to do. Is this time of year? It's got to be more stressful. But what are some of the things that your officers, yourself, and your team does to keep everybody extra safe during this season?
Well, the thing is, you got to be visible. You have to have good communications. We let the public know what's going on. Just a couple of weeks ago, I put an email out or a Facebook page out about Lagniappe. Street closures, what time it starts. We had over 550,000 views on it.
Yeah,
just on one Facebook post. But it's about communications and being visible. People don't understand how many weeks it takes to prepare for tonight's events. It takes weeks,
right?
Because the plan's constantly changing. Then you might have people say, "Well, it's Rochester. It's safe. You don't have to plan." Well, if I didn't have a plan and something happened, that goes on me. I'm responsible for that. So I could call it over planning. I over plan. So tonight I'm going to have, I believe, 7 extra police agencies assisting our officers. I've never done that the last 2 years. This year I want to ramp it up a little bit. Because there's still that sense of security. People, they just don't feel comfortable all the time wherever they go, and that's unfortunate. But that's the new world we live in.
It's the world we live in.
But you know what? You can't live in fear. You got to go on. You have to live a good, productive life. But no, you have to over prepare. And I'll tell you, tonight you will see a lot of us tonight. We will have this whole area secured. You won't be able to get in here with a vehicle. We're going to be seeing you. You won't see us most of the time.
Yep.
Just hint. But I won't tell you our security plan. But yes, weeks to prepare for tonight, and we are ready. We're going to have great weather, so I anticipate. I think last year we had approximately 35,000 people here.
Wow.
I think we're going to have close to 50,000 people.
And that's just.
We were asking that earlier, and we said 20. It's more than 50,000 people within 3 blocks.
It's absolutely amazing, and I both appreciate you sharing, the interagency workings, because Rochester is a tight-knit community, but it's also a community that helps with mutual aid, in a number of different things, and especially as your public safety officer background, that's key, because when we do have events like this, you need to step it up. And for our greater community to hear that not only are you thinking about that, you're planning for that, especially us with young families, that just means the world to me hearing that, Chief. And everything from barriers and eyes in the sky, all those type of things, which I appreciate you also not mentioning, because that is a huge part of police work, between the plainclothes and things like that. And this is a place that you can walk. Talk to us a little bit about the traffic situation. I'm just going to go there. So through this season, what are things that you would hope to tell the greater Rochester community, people from all across the state, if they end up hearing this, what your hope and desire is for when they're driving through downtown, when they're walking, what do they need to know?
Well, first of all, they have to be patient. It's just, we only have so many lanes here.
Yeah.
But people come from all over Michigan to visit the city, especially during this time of the year when they see the million lights lit up here. I mean, I think we're ranked in the top 50 in the United States for having one of the best Christmas towns.
Yeah.
Which our DDA, Christy, she does in team. They do a great job down here, and but people have to just be patient. There is a lot of traffic. That's my biggest complaint working here as a police chief, about the traffic, especially up and down Main Street. But and what people don't understand is they complain about the lack of parking, but they have to educate themselves, and we try to educate them too. There's a lot of parking here. We have 2 parking structures that hold over 500 vehicles. We have private lots, city-owned lots with meters, that hold another 500-600 cars. You can park on some of the side streets. But my thing is just be patient. leave your house a little bit early, especially if you're coming here tonight.
Right.
If you're leaving your house at 5:30, you're going to be complaining because it's going to be a lot of.
You're gonna be lucky to get anywhere near
Yeah,
Rochester at 5:30.
And pre-plan. I mean, you might want to come down here a little bit earlier, just get a view of the city and to see where you can park. And just, or get to the parking structures early. Matter of fact, I have officers assigned or code enforcement working in each parking structure tonight.
Great.
Smart.
Number one for security, and number two to get people in and out as fast as they can.
Love that.
And that's the goal.
That's
And
really
it'll
smart.
Help them with the meters and stuff like that. So,
This is obviously one of the key staple events in our community, but beyond that, your team does a wonderful job, whether it's policing the different events and things like that. For you as chief, what is the thing that when you go home, when you take off the belt, the badge, at night, that you are most proud of with your team in this community?
I got to tell you, my team is they're just exceptional professionals. They train very hard. We don't have all the violent crimes that other cities have, but we have to be prepared. It's funny. You want to label us as a community-oriented police agency, which we are. You ask one of these officers, hey, go down to this business, they need this or that. They run out the door, they don't complain. A resident needs something, they're home shipped when they go on vacation, we go and do it. We're in the schools, we're working with the seniors, and the thing is, I never hear anyone complain. I'm just so proud of these men and women I work with.
Yeah.
They just don't complain. It seems like that's in their DNA. Other agencies have been, the officers tend to complain a little bit, but here it's just, this is family here. Everyone that works here. Another thing too is being the chief. I never worked in a city where there was a downtown. I always wanted to.
Okay.
So this is a great way to finish my career, but I can't believe the networking down here. How all the business owners know each other and work with each other and help each other.
Yeah.
And I can just, like Kevin, I can call him in 2 seconds. He's calling me back.
Yep.
He needs something. He knows he can call me.
Yep.
I'm going to help him.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm most proud of, working here and my officers too. So,
And that's one of the things that we talk about a lot is that exact the sense of community and the sense of helping each other out. And it's been a blessing to grow my relationship with you. And I do know, and everybody out there should know, you are accessible, right? There's a lot of police chiefs that aren't accessible at all. You're very accessible. So are your officers. They're willing to help on even the small nuances. You just touched on that, but I've witnessed it. I've seen it. It doesn't have to be an emergency for you to ask the police for some help. If you just have a situation or a question or anything, you're approachable. You can walk up to a police vehicle and ask a question. This person's going to roll down the window and help, right? And you guys in this city do such a good job of making sure that everybody in the city is comfortable around the police force. Because there's some cities where people aren't comfortable when the police show up. You guys have done a good job of realizing that the police and the officers in this town are a part of what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And we're here to help. We're here to serve and protect, but we're also here to help.
Right.
And I've heard you say that so many times when you're speaking in front of different individuals and giving updates on the city and updates on the things that we're doing, of asking people, call us. If you have questions, call us. Here you go. Here's my number. Give me a call anytime. I'm here to help. And I really, really appreciate that about you and the way that you've kind of commissioned your officers to do the same.
Yeah. No, we treat everybody like family here.
Yeah.
And you have to. We want to have a good relationship with the public. Like tonight, all I want people to do is come down here and have a good time and feel safe. They don't have to look over their back. Just have a good time.
Yeah, I appreciate
And
that.
if something does happen, we're there to help.
Yep, they're there to help if something goes wrong. And you do such good preparation work, like you said, the plan. You guys didn't wake up this morning and go, all right, well, it's Lagniappe. What are we going to do today?
Right.
This has been in the works for a long time of you understanding. So every single officer knows where to be, what to do, what they're keeping their eye on, so that everybody that comes down here tonight can be as safe as physically possible. That's super important. And you don't just do it for this event, you do it for every single event.
Oh, absolutely.
The amount of times we talk about that of all of the different things that you do as each event rolls out into town, because we have a lot of them.
We
And
do.
we have the Christmas parade right around the corner. So we have to start prepping for that.
That's right. On the 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our fire department too, we have a they're part of the planning too. And so we have numerous meetings on both like this event or the Christmas parade. So they have they do incident command type plans. We do our own thing, but we all work together in the long run. So you'll see a lot of firefighters out here tonight.
Yeah.
And our CERT team, the volunteers, they'll help out too, walking around. The main thing is we just want to be visible. So if you have a problem, you can just come right up to us, and hopefully we can resolve it quickly.
Well, I just want to, I kind of want to end and just say thank you. Thank you so much for what you guys do. Thank you for keeping us safe. If people are watching right now, or you're watching this down the road or at a later point, say thank you to your officers. You see Chief George, say thank you. You see the different officers here in town, say thank you. Because the work that they do a lot of times goes unseen, and that's a good thing.
Yep.
If they're unseen, that means they're doing their job right. So make sure that when you see an officer, you say thank you. If you're around tonight, walk up to an officer and just say thank you for being here and thank you for keeping us safe. That stuff is super important in this town. But I want to make sure that I say thank you, because what you do and the work that you guys do in this city is super important, and it matters. And I know a lot of that is done smoothly because of your leadership. So thank you for what you do for the city.
Yeah, by all means.
And you can call me at any time, even on Sunday. So I'll call you back.
You will. He will.
Well, Chief, thanks again for joining us today. For those of you who are, tuning in and watching, just a reminder, the streets are closing early. Please get down here. Don't rush. Be kind, be generous. Again, tonight, the theme is generosity, giving back. Be great to one another. Keep an eye on your kids. Help others if they have a need. And again, Chief, you guys are setting the standard for that in your department. And we, as part of the Rochester community, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy. You're welcome to take a Cronut with you.
Yeah, if you want, pass it around.
A Tagozi Cronut?
No, that's good. That's good.
I'm proud of you.
A long night today.
Very well.
See it here first. They do say no.
Yep, they do.
Those things weigh about 5 pounds.
They are very heavy. They're very rich. They're stinking delicious. But you got to have a little bit of a sweet tooth for them.
You're right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, again, thanks, Chief.
Thank you so much, Chief.
Next up for all of you guys as Chief transitions off here is, I think, undoubtedly one of Kevin and I's personal favorites. And when I mean personal favorites, this is a guy who is not only a dear friend of ours, he's another staple in the Rochester community. And this is a guy, Kevin, I think both of us can share, that we have had some of the deepest and richest conversations with.
Without a doubt.
He loves our kids, and in his business,
fellow father.
Yeah, and his business is continuing to boom here. They have become a staple in the Rochester community.
A very, very busy staple in the Rochester.
Very busy, especially this time of year. And Kevin and I both frequent this guy. I can, as I'm looking across at him right now, come on in here. We're going to have Jamie,
let's just get in here.
Jamie from Kingsfield Grooming come. Jamie cuts both of our hair. Now, I just want to make a caveat here real quick for all of you who are watching. Hey, buddy, I love you. I am in the grow out phase right now. I want my hair longer. So this is not a true reflection of Jamie's masterpiece and work because, this guy takes such good care of all of us. Again, Jamie Reyes from Kingsfield Grooming. He's just got a great team down there, whether it's Seth or there's even some new faces in there. Jonah.
How many people do you have?
How many people are in there now, Jamie?
Including me and Jason, there's 9.
So Jason is your business partner, and Jason is a great guy as well. And this is a community that you love.
Yeah.
One of the things that I love so much about Kingsfield is the feeling when you walk out. I always feel like $1 million because you take what all this is and make it into something great. But there's a genuine feel that when you walk into Kingsfield, it's just different from other barbershops. And that's what people talk about, right? We look in the different community groups and stuff like that, and people say, hey, my father's in town, he needs a cut, or my son needs a new barber, and it's like 27-1 that people recommend Kingsfield. Like, it just happens. And, whether you know that or not, it does happen. And Kevin, you would probably share the same sentiment about Jamie, I'm sure.
Oh, I would. How long ago did we meet? I think you're the only person that's cut my hair, with the exception of one time in over a decade.
Yeah, I think it was about when we opened up about 10 years ago.
Yeah, about 10 years ago. I wasn't the first one through the door, but I was relatively quick. And it's funny because you kind of cornered me one day. I don't know if you remember this, and you're like, dude, you got to get in and get a cut. You're like, I got some ideas. And I was like, all right. And I remember I sat down and I was like, well, what do I do? And you're like, I got you.
Yeah.
And I haven't been in charge of my hair ever since. And usually when I sit down, like, you may ask a couple questions. I'm like, dude, I don't know. You're in charge. Yeah. It's still the same rules. Yeah. Like, I'm just sitting in the chair and you do you.
Yeah, you sound
right?
Like
So tell us a little bit about your journey. I know you guys have changed kind of locations. You've been in the same general location, but you guys have, from the first time I came in there, where it was just 4 of you, right? So where you're at now is a big change. Give us a little bit of the background story of that.
Okay. So when we started Kingsfield, I literally just didn't have a place to work, right? I didn't have a place that I felt valued enough. I was going around trying to figure out where I could be. And it was like pretty early on that I knew that I had to open up my own shop, because I had me and my nephew, which is Jason, the other owner of Kingsfield. We were both with their license and coming from another community in Pontiac, and then we decided we needed to step it up,
do something outside the box.
Yeah, and I know I didn't want to be there anymore, and I knew I wanted to be in Rochester, so we were already cutting hair for Nathan, Hamoud from Desert Oasis, and we were cutting also Jamal.
Yep.
And it just kind of fell into our laps. It was wild the way it happened.
You've always been in their building, correct?
Always been in their
Always.
building, yes.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, if you ever come to the Desert Oasis in Rochester, that's the easiest sign on the street to identify you, right? So if you come in to the Desert Oasis, as you're coming into the left, there's a door that has your logo on it that you go down, and you're right underneath there.
Yeah,
and they've got a super cool shop. That's from the front. There's the back door where you enter by Eastman. Your signage is back there as well.
Our signage is back there, and then you're going to kind of feel like you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're going to come in and be like, what is going on here? Because you're going to be in the hallway corridor of the Eastman.
Right. So that's been a whole transition, because before that whole hallway, that was our location.
Yep.
And before that was ever a thing.
That was when it was like, that's when it was like the kitchen down there. So it was like, it was the cheesecake prep kitchen for DO. And then you guys had a little shop right next to it, where you just had the 4 seats, and there was enough room for 4 of you to not bump elbows, but pretty close when you're cutting.
Yeah. We had no place to hang out or anything. It was just
no windows, no resemblance of any light coming in.
It was great. So we took 2 10-by-10 rooms and opened it up like in the middle, and then closed off a door. And that's what we did for the first location. And then they opened that whole other end of the hallway, and we ended up taking that space.
And you guys have 5 or 6 chairs now, or is it 7? 7 chairs.
Bro, when I was in there getting cut the other day, because he takes care of me, and so I came in on Friday, so that I could get a cut for the weekend, because I had like event after event after event this weekend, and then today.
Right.
So I wanted to look good. I'm not in my grow out phase, because I wish I could have a grow out phase. It may help get a little thicker up here. But so I came in, and dude, my man's off to the right, like in cutting in one of the chairs that people get their hair washed in, because they were so busy.
Yeah, the demand is so high. Yeah, and I mean that's Kingsfield, 101, and
walk-ins is
when
tough.
you're that good, that's what happens, right? That's the goal, though.
I mean, kind of, yeah, I would say so. We built a name for ourselves, and we don't suck. You know what I mean? It's good not to suck.
It's true.
It's good not to suck. I love that.
We're on another level of like care for our customers.
Yeah.
I would say, and that's all really takes.
Yeah.
It's that extra level.
Well,
and
and
that's keeps us busy through even the slow times where people are normally slow.
Mm-hmm.
We stay steady.
And let's talk about that, because I will say, your guys, I can speak to you because you're who cuts me, but I know a lot of guys that get cut by different, guys in your shop.
Yeah.
And you guys all do the same thing, right?
Mhm.
I've watched your training process. I've watched people
Oh, yeah.
apprentice underneath you for months and months and months and months before I see them on anyone's
Yeah.
hair, right? But you guys are different. Now, I've heard you say it before, but it's not an industry I'm necessarily in, is you talk about license, right?
Yeah.
Having a license.
Yes.
Is it a grooming license? What's
Yeah,
the
so
It's a
technical
barbering,
license?
right?
Yeah, it's a barbering license and a cosmetology license.
So the guys that are in your shop, all of you are licensed, correct?
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yes,
so,
exactly.
and you've told me before how important it is. So can you touch on that for a second? Because, there's a lot of shops out here. There's a lot of shops in the area that doesn't matter to them.
Mhm.
It's not important. They don't put any emphasis on it. To them, they act like it's no big deal. I know how to cut hair. Like
Right.
that's completely different. So
Right.
what does that mean? And why is it important for someone who's getting ready to go get cut to have?
I would say so. Like, you would need to have a license to do any of these things while you're working on someone. And if you're not like having a license and doing this, like you're just an imposter, in my opinion. Like
You're
can't
like a
do that.
hobbyist.
Yeah, because it's not the same thing. Just like you would have to go to college to get a license to work on people or in anything. This is the same type of industry.
Right.
It's all ran through the state. It's illegal. You have to do these things. I did it. And I know all the proper procedures on how to take care of any situation. And basically, school is just how to not hurt someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you kind of learn a little bit more about doing what you want to. But I think it's very, very important. And if anyone's cutting hair without a license, I mean, that's risky, and it's not good for business.
Well, it's not good for business. It's not a best practice either, right? Because it's not good for the consumer, because most of the consumers have no idea. They should, but they don't know. They don't have any idea whether their barber is licensed or not, or even what that means. In some places it is, but I would say especially in men's, right? It's probably a significantly different than in women's. I would assume most women's, their
there's a lot of
cosmetology
new
is
places
higher,
coming
right?
up like that are going under the radar, just trying to get things done without no license or even forging it. So thank
That's
God
scary.
It's not too much in our city, but I know things could be popping up. So.
Yeah, but it's important to know that, when people are coming in and they're looking for their place that is going to be their regular, because in your industry,
Mhm.
it's a
You have
regulars
to-
industry,
Yeah.
right? Once, like I told you, in 10 years, there's one person that's cut my hair differently because you were out of town and the guys in your shop were all busy, and I had something coming up and I don't remember what it was. And I texted you and I was like, hey man, I got to do this. Went into another place, won't say where, got a cut. And I remember texting you the next day. I was like, bro, when are you back? Because I need you to fix it.
We've all had that
I was
story.
like, it is not good. And
We've
you were like,
all
what? And I
had
remember when
that.
I sat down in your chair, you're like, what in the world,
What
man?
happened here?
What happened here? You're like, don't worry, I got
Yeah.
this. But dang.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was more expensive. That's the
See?
crazy thing. It's not like I went to the
That's what I'm
cheapest
talking
place
about.
on the block, right? I went to a place where I left. I was like, I looked in the mirror. I was like, what is going on?
You
What
know,
in tarnation? And I learned the hard way that I'll just wait till you get back.
so here's a story.
Right?
Here's a story with that. I was traveling one time and I was like, I gotta get a cut, right? And Jamie, because I was traveling so much, he said to me, just don't let them touch the top, EJ. Like, if you need a little bit of a fade, we can fix that, but just don't let them touch the top. And this guy started cutting the top of my hair. And as kind and compassionate and gentle as Jamie is, I started sweating in this guy's chair because I did not want to go back to my barber, Jamie, and say like, dude, I did the dirty. I did something really bad. I'm sorry, man. And of course he fixed it for us. But, Jamie, this is, Kevin's talked some about your growth over the last few years. Kingsfield was always a place that people wanted to go. Now it's, I'll use the term, it's in the highest demand. people will walk downtown Rochester, see other, men, and immediately say, oh, that's a Kingsfield cut, because there is such a difference. Talk to the people watching a little bit right now, for you as one of the business owners, what that means to you, that the recognition has grown, that you guys being set apart is now there. I know there's more in the tank, but what does that mean to you, man?
Man, so for one, it's a huge honor for anyone to say anything like that about us and what we've done. I think it's been a really big deal to me in my career and what I've kind of bring to the table as a business owner.
Yeah.
That I'm not only in the industry, but I'm like elevating it. And so I feel like I'm doing my part to help elevate the industry in itself. And so what I want to do is like just create systems, and as we systematize like things, then you can try to get some of the unique flair on how you can. So with what we do, with the system that we created, it's already been there, but we kind of like really make sure we all understand what we're doing.
Yep.
And that's what it really takes for you to be like, if you ever wanted to work for us. Yeah. You can't just come in and walk in and expect to cut someone's hair. You have to go through and make sure we understand, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so with that, we've done like apprenticeship programs. We had 2 people graduate, or one's coming up on graduating. My guy Kurt now, he's been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's really taken to all of that, and he got good very, very fast. So
that's awesome.
Well, and watching you mentor those people.
Yeah.
Sorry, I jumped you, but
no, that's all right, because I was going there.
Watching you mentor people, because I've seen this now a couple times, and you've sat cutting my hair and used my cut as a conversation with one of your guys to show them, hey, well, this is why I'm doing this. Or somebody else will have a problem or doing something, and you'll stop my cut to point out like what he's doing to solve that problem. Because if you're cutting someone's hair, I would assume like problems do arise, i.e. like you went a little too high with the clippers or you slipped. I mean, those things happen. But you guys being able to pivot and know, like I've even watched you go over and be like, hey, 1 second, let me show you what to do here. Your mentorship that you've had for the younger generation of guys has been pretty cool. And in that, I want to touch on, because you did something, and it was the passion that I saw and excitement that I saw from you when you did this most recent out of the country training.
Oh my gosh.
Right. And your ability to go teach a whole different culture about cutting. Touch on that for a second, because most people don't know that you did that, because it's not something that you talk about regularly. But the excitement that I saw and the passion that I saw in your eyes to know that you were doing something that left a bigger stamp than just cutting, right? Touch on that, because I don't think most people realize what you did and why you did it.
Yeah, so recently I just got the opportunity to go to Nepal and help teach women that have been taken out of human trafficking how to cut hair. So I went with a company called Our Daughters International, and I got an invite from Andrea from a salon just outside downtown here, and we were super excited. I mean, I was excited. I was actually the only one that got to go. But what an experience that gave me. I mean, it was impactful for my whole entire life. Like, it changed me as a person.
Yeah.
You were changed when you came back.
Oh yeah.
I could tell, like our conversations changed. The depth of our conversations changed.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be hard for anyone to make that kind of trip and come back still the same after seeing what you did. I've never been that far outside of the country. So, and then it's kind of like a third world country.
Yeah.
And it definitely made you view life different. So
yeah, and you're elevating. Yeah, you're elevating other people. You're helping them grow a skill that. Talk about that for a second, because these are. And let me pause you. These are things that Kingsfield doesn't post on the wall. You don't have a banner out front.
It's
We
not a
just
look at me, look at
traveled and
me.
helped XYZ. This is in who you are.
Right.
And when I say, you know, Jamie's one of our favorite people, this is part of the reason here.
Yeah.
You're making an
Conversation.
impact. So go back into that.
Yeah, so just being out there. Really,
Yeah.
To be honest, being out there, what I did out there, they still talk about it like, oh, you did something amazing there. Well, it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like I did anything crazy.
Right.
But what it did to me is something even more like they have no idea what that did to me.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this enormous amount of gratitude towards them and what I've learned from all that. And I plan on going back. Actually, I'm making plans to go back in March. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Myself and EJ have both at different points have been involved in the mission field.
Yeah.
And it's amazing every time you do something like that, whether it's on the mission field or it's something local or what's something where you're just reaching out to help somebody out. You always believe you're there to impact them. And then what really ends up happening is they end up impacting you.
Yeah.
And you think that it's one thing, and almost everybody when they get home goes, I'm a changed person forever. Like, I'm never going to be the same. Like, I now know what matters in life.
Yeah.
And I feel completely different about my mission and the way I'm going to approach life and approach my business. How has that affected your business since?
I mean, it made me get serious about many things. Like when I went out there and I knew like there was holes, like if I were going to be a teacher,
Yeah.
like, it has to be a little bit better, kind of what I was using to teach. So I went out and got training myself and, tightened things up. And so that's one way it impacted me. And then another thing that we were just talking about is our conversation.
Yeah.
You know, is that the conversation's getting a little bit deeper when you come back, especially when you just can't come back and speak the same.
Mhm.
You're not going to have the
You've seen different things.
You're going to be
Yeah.
talking about the things that impacted your life.
Yeah.
And so I'm always thinking about that stuff. Now it makes me look at my kids different. It makes
Right.
me look at my family different.
Mhm.
It makes me think about the guys close to me. I mean, really, every matter of like any thought that ever came in there, it's affected all
Yeah.
of that.
It puts a different lens on things, right?
Absolutely.
And as that lens, happens, it's really unique because it changes how you think, how you talk, how you act, how you respond. All those things are true. Yeah.
Just talking about life and what, like a simple, like, how you doing turns into more like just letting things go, especially at the barbershop, you're just like,
Well, that's how he started, right? I mean,
Yeah, you're
it's-
like the
we
best
get into
therapist
the-
I've never had.
Yeah, you get
And
into
I
these
get
depths
a
of conversation.
Damn good haircut every single time. And it's like, I like walk away every time and I'm like, man, that was worth every penny just to sit for that 55 minutes with Jamie. And I think sometimes the sense I get in the shop, Jamie, is it's not just about the cut. Like that's like the standard at Kingsfield. You're not going to go in there and get some bad. There's just something every time I walk out of there.
yeah,
That's Kingsfield.
you feel good on the outside, you feel good on the inside.
Yeah.
Like a little food for
A
the
little-
soul.
A little lighter.
How,
Yep.
A little
how do
lighter
you-
in weight and a little lighter on the soul.
man.
And the fun, the banter, because you're overhearing other
Oh
people,
yeah.
the chit chat,
Oh my
everybody
gosh.
messing it. I mean, it just everyone messing with each other constantly. Like your guys' dynamic as
Yeah.
a team is one of my favorite things to go in there and watch because you mess with each other. Like
All day.
and the banter, I gotta imagine is like that all day, every day.
Mhm.
Like nothing is off limits with these
Yeah.
guys. And there's something fun about being at and you guys are men's only, right?
Yeah.
You're for the most part not. I
Yeah.
mean, you're not doing long hair, women's cuts.
Yeah.
It's
They
mostly
can. I've seen them do it.
but it's
But-
mostly a men's shop. So
Yeah.
usually it's full with dudes,
Yep.
right? And so it's fun, right? It's a fun hangout.
Can I
spot.
make a caveat there though?
Yes.
Because I've been in some barber shops and I'll say crude. Okay.
It's not that.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've heard some good jokes in Kingsfield, But when I take my little guy Gideon in there, I guarantee you it's because of your process, because of how you've trained people. If there was, I never worry about that. I've gone into some other barber shops and I'm like, I don't think I want to take my kid in there because I don't know what's being said right now.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Like,
We've messed up a few times.
Sure, you guys are human. But listen, this is a great environment. It's a ton of fun. These guys seriously are the best of the best. And when they come in after, they've gone to barbering school, it's not just like, hey, yeah, come on in and cut. These guys are put through the paces. And, there is a different flick of the wrist that Kingsfield has. Am I right? There's something like, there's a rhythm. It's just, it's spot on. I can't speak highly enough for it. Jamie, you are not only a staple in this community, but you are a vibrant part of this community. You make this community better. And Kevin and I both share that.
Yep.
Your team, you and Jason have just done a phenomenal job.
And all the guys, because people don't realize this as well. They're out to lunch in town. They're hanging around in town. Like, you guys actually are involved in the city. You're not just coming in, putting in your hours, and then leaving and rolling out. Like, you and all your guys, you're a part of this thing, right? Like, your buddies, you go out any given bar any night, and you walk in, you're gonna know a tenth of the room, if not 50% of the room, right? Are gonna know you because you're around, you're involved, and you're part of the community. Like, you're in the threads of
my
it.
wife are gonna be mostly out here.
Yep.
All those type of things.
So what does, before we let you go here, you moved, when you started the business, you obviously started it here in town. You came from another community. What has it been like to have your business be in downtown Rochester?
Oh, it's night and day. But honestly, like, I grew up in mentally, I grew up here, right? Like, because Pontiac kind of grew me up, to a point, and I couldn't kind of grow past that way of thinking,
right?
Where I was kind of stuck. I felt stuck.
Yep.
And then I got involved at Oakland Christian, and Oakland Christian at the time was very involved in Rochester, and they kind of brought me out here, and I just knew I had to be a part of this community. And so when I came out here, it changed me, and I've grown up here. I got my son, he's 9 years old. I opened up Kingsfield and got married within the first 3 months.
Right.
and so like my marriage is 10 years old. My business is 10 years old. I've really grown through everything.
My son's first outing outside of the house after being born was our grand opening for our company. So same thing. It's like, well, might as well do it all at once. Let's start a company. Let's do this. Let's do this. That's the same thing. We've got that in common because our kids are the same age, right? So we've got to have a lot of those conversations over the years in the chair of raising kids.
All the experience that it gives you, like nobody ever prepares you for that. There isn't
it's impossible.
some kind of book that actually goes through and tells you exactly where you're going to go.
Because every kid's different. There's no great training program.
Just for a business, being a business owner and part of the community, it's been really good. I couldn't ask for more out of Rochester and what it's done for us.
I would ask if the lights give you extra business, but I know that not really, because you guys are still booked
you guys
up.
are slammed.
We had that conversation on Friday, and so I knew that it probably wasn't, because every time I'm in there, you're completely full. But continuing to have some of those things happen and things in town, they definitely don't hurt. Because I believe, I would guess over the years, that hasn't hurt your growth, right?
Well, no, obviously, it's people want to be downtown Rochester.
Yeah, they do.
They do. And so, could we have worked somewhere else? Yeah, but I like it way better.
You get a lot more better lifestyle yourself just by being downtown.
You can chill between clients. You go
Yep.
hang out. I go to O'Connor's, go
Yeah.
see my girl Jane all the
Yep.
time.
Yeah. Jane's the best. Like, how much more fun is lunchtime when you can walk upstairs and go chill
And
with
you're a
her,
regular
or
somewhere,
walk
too.
in and grab a coffee from
Yeah.
Do. Like, you can go to all these
I go
places
hang
in
out with my guys
between.
at Chow.
Yeah, exactly.
I go anywhere. I go to Lucido's, hang
Yep.
out with Matt.
Just chill, hang out, right? And so that's a beauty of this town. To be in the thread of that and be right in the middle of it is super fun. So thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate you and everything you do for the city. I appreciate you just as a friend. Like, I'm
Likewise.
not even going to say for the city
Yeah.
because your friendship means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And over the years, your ear and our conversations and the time that we spend together and the trust that we have for each other, like your friendship means a ton to me. It's important. You're an important person in my life. So thank you for being there.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. I
Kevin-
feel the same way about you guys.
Yeah. Kevin, you end each of your podcasts on Beyond Bricks the same way. And I think the world needs more of Jamie.
Yep.
So give us that line.
Yeah. So I say all the time is that, go out there and be yourself because the world needs you.
Yeah.
And that's the same commission I would give to you is just keep being yourself,
That's right.
because yourself and the person that you truly are and you're on this earth and planet to be matters. And when you are that person, the world is better because of it. And so that's the commission is the world needs exactly who Jamie Reyes is,
Yeah.
because you matter. You do great things for people. So
I
thank you.
appreciate that. Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
on.
by all
Thanks
means.
for all the great talk.
Yeah. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Appreciation.
Well, hey, we're going to
Take
take
it
a quick break here and we'll be back with another amazing guest. So thankful for each of you guys tuning in. From Kevin and I, this has just been a great start
It's been
so
fun
far
so
today. And we can't
Time is
wait for
flying.
what's next. I
Like,
know.
is time completely flying. for you?
I think we're like 7 in.
We're 6 in. We're halfway through.
That's
halfway
awesome.
through the day.
That's so awesome. And
We got a lot. We got a really good second half.
We do. We had a great first half.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit the little boys' room,
I think
although
I'm
you're
going
not
to
supposed
as
to
well.
talk about that on camera.
But
But,
whatever, we're live, so who
again,
cares?
For all of you who are watching out there, we'll be right back with you guys. It's a great day, a great night ahead to be in downtown Rochester.
Absolutely.
And we're thankful to be here with you. We'll see you in a few
See you in a
minutes.
minute.
Check this out.
audio back in. All right, guys, welcome back. That was a nice little break there. I need to stand up for a minute. Doing a live cast is fun, but I'm not used to being on camera for this long, so I hadn't stood up in like 2-3 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah, we were sitting for some time.
Still. I'm walking around.
You're walking
24/7. I'm walking around town. I don't know how to sit. That's the toughest part about this. So far, the talking is easy. It's the sitting that can be difficult. I'm shifting constantly.
I agree. Now, Kevin, the person sitting in between us here, I was gonna say is like the Grand Marshal. I don't know that she'd love that. She's not the mayor.
She won't want you to say that because, she won't want you to say that.
But talk about flipping a city and turning it on its head with an amazing team for the greater betterment of a community, which one, my family, your family has definitely benefited from. And two, the entirety of Rochester Hills has been blessed by. Who do we have with us?
I mean, you've got Rochester Hills, Oakland Township, Shelby Township. I mean, you name it. All of the bordering communities benefit for the person's.
Yeah, I would be really intrigued. And maybe this is a little idea since I do own a creative agency. Next year, we should get a giant map of Michigan with pins. And when people are walking around, let's see, I know you have some data. We've heard, Mayor Sylvia talk about data before, and I love this. But I would love to see how many communities are actually represented through the different nights. But we literally have the glue behind this whole event.
Mm-hmm.
This is big, Kevin.
Yep.
Okay, who do we got?
Christy Trevorrow. For those of you who don't know, as EJ said, she's the executive director of the DDA. And is in charge of everything that's about to happen tonight. She is the puppeteer behind. She is, though I guess in the current movie, maybe Wizard of Oz is a bad comparison, but she's definitely the one pulling the levers.
That's right.
To make sure that everybody, though she doesn't have an evil intent like the Wizard of Oz did, but she is the person pulling the levers. So Christy, thanks for coming out with this. Thank you for taking the time because this is like probably your busiest day of the entire year.
It is. It's my favorite day of the entire year, but we're just a scoosh busy in our place. Yes.
Yeah.
I like it. Scoosh. That's a good word.
That is a good word.
Scoosh busy.
This town has over the last 8 weeks or so been transforming, and as it has, I keep saying like 1.5 million lights. How many lights are down here? Do you know?
They are
1.5 million lights, LEDs. They're bright, they're beautiful, all different colors. And we were debating this morning, is this the 20th year? Wow.
So see, Paul was correct.
Paul Haig was on.
Because we were thinking it was maybe 19 and next year was 20, but Paul's like, no, I think this is 20. So,
20,
and we even said, well, we will 100% clarify this when Christy gets here because she will know.
Yeah, some people think that we took COVID off. We didn't do lanyap in COVID, but we actually did the big bright lights.
That's true.
Yeah.
And 20th year of the light.
And I remember because that was one of the things we came down, multiple times just to walk, be out in the community, and just a little extra bit of joy, that's spread down here. But the DDA is such a vital part of this community. You guys do so much beyond just this event, and as you do it, this has changed over the years. And it's continued to grow. It's continued to build notoriety. Share with us just some of maybe the facts, the wins that you guys have seen as part of the DDA and leading this thing out.
So I think a lot of people think, well, it's just an event. And for us, it never was. It was, as Kevin will tell you, economic development.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it came from 21 years ago when I would come back to the DDA. And I was going around talking to a lot of the businesses. And they told me that business has been sliding hard. And if there was anything that I could do for them, it was find a way to generate dollars.
Okay.
So that was the lens of which Big Bright Lights Show was created. But it's been so much more, and it's become so much more. So it became a business recruitment tool for people in other cities that I never knew about Rochester. I didn't even know you did those types of things for your businesses. But I know now, and I'd like to be a part of it.
Right.
And so that helped with our occupancy rate. And then and you layer in that people are coming to see the lights, they're having those memory making moments. I just had a gentleman call me this week letting me know that 12 years ago that he had an issue where he was about to lose his sight. Ended up going through 11 months of therapy. And the one thing that he did the first day when he had his sight 90% restored, he wanted to come see the lights.
Wow.
Because he wanted to feel that. And that is just one of dozens upon dozens of stories that we get. And so it has the economic piece, it's the brass tacks, but at the same time, it's the memory making. It's making us a part of the tradition, making people just want to be here and be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's magical moments. It really is. It creates so many magical moments, and you can see it through social media. It doesn't take long during this season to scroll up and down any social media feed and see 3, 4, 5 photos or posts or whatever about somebody coming down, because everybody when they comes down has to take a photo 2, 3, 4, a selfie here, a selfie there, and show that they were in downtown. And so what it's doing is it's creating magical moments, not just helping in supporting the businesses, but it's turned into something so much more. And like you said, what started out as an economic development idea has turned into something that's really become iconic, and iconic nationally. So touch a little bit on that, because there's been some cool things that have happened over the years where we have received a lot of recognitions. You and your team have received a lot of recognitions for doing this. And it actually, correct me if I'm wrong, we've been used as an example of a way to build in events inside the city that support both the economics and the fun of being. So touch on that for a while.
So it's been a lot of things when it comes down to it. I think that people look at us as, oh, well, if they do lights, we could just do it anywhere. And it isn't just lights. It's how we built it up. So we knew after the first few years, lights were going great, but exactly what Kevin said, what else? Because you can see the lights and they're beautiful. I could come see them every day, but that's me. But we wanted to but we wanted to layer in some more things. So we started adding events to it, giving people more reasons to come out.
Yeah.
And that way they would come and shop at our businesses. And so for a long time, we were really getting that local attention, regional attention. And then suddenly we started popping up nationally. And a couple of years ago, Parade Magazine listed the 51 cutest Christmas towns in the world. Not America, the world.
Really?
And we were number 23.
Let's go.
In the world.
Right? In the world.
Wow.
Paris is behind us. What? Paris, France.
Are you serious?
Behind us. I'm like, how is that a thing? But okay. I mean,
so for all those people that go to Paris to get engaged,
they come here.
Toss it out here.
Yeah. I know. I love the people that come in and tell me, you know what? I used to come to this as a child, and now I'm getting engaged.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's how that makes me feel.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that, but good for you. So we've gotten that attention, but then circling back to the beginning with the economic development, a couple years ago, we had a call from the Wall Street Journal saying that they were looking for towns that were bucking the trend, that people were still in-person shopping. And they had called our parent organization, which is Main Street America, and told them what they were looking for. And they instantly said, you need to call Christy. I'm like, who's Christy? Well, here I am. So they called and they played it really cool. Said, we're talking to a lot of things. We might not call you back. So I pitched hard. And then about a week later, they called me like, yeah, okay, we're coming to Rochester.
Wow.
And so they came. It was a rainy night. We wanted to get high above photos of town, really to show people that have never been here. Thinking, okay, how do I get on a roof, but it's safe, but it's wet? So who do I know that can get me up high? Hi, Chief John. So I called the fire department and I borrowed the big truck.
Nice.
The city years ago had to buy the giant fire truck because they needed to get higher for the Royal Park when it was built at our local hotel. And so I got the big truck out. And so we got him up in the bucket. So in addition to the Wall Street Journal, he just thought that was really cool that we got him in the bucket of the fire truck.
Let's go way up high in the fire truck.
Yes. So I waited every day. They told me, oh yeah, it's going to air. It's going to be posted sometime in the month of December. And I waited every day. I swear I wasn't without my phone, probably just like you.
Yeah, she wasn't.
So I swear to you, it was Christmas Eve. I had forgotten some chicken stock and I needed to run into Meijer. I just left my phone in the car because I was just running, grabbing, getting out. I get back in the car. I have 73 notifications. I'm like, what the? It posted and everybody else got it before me. Come on. But still, it was really great. It turned out to be nationally the most shared and viewed post of the whole month of December.
Wow.
On Wall Street Journal.
That's amazing. It has just major impact, as we've said, I've heard a few different numbers. I think at one time I heard the amount of vehicles or foot traffic or participants down here. I know you guys have it, calculated out. Instead of me just giving out a number, what is that number around?
So we get about, coincidentally, 1.5 million lights, 1.5 million people. So last year, Placer AI, which I'm sure you're familiar with, the county offers that as a service to us as Main Street community. And so they mapped for us from the day the lights went on to the day the lights went off. And they said we had about 1.5, close to 1.6 people during that amount of time. And the average dwell time was 118 minutes.
Which is
insane.
Yeah.
Yes. I know so many people say to me, oh, people just drive through. It doesn't do anything for town. Well, unless they're driving super slow,
right,
I think they're staying and they're getting out. And that shows in the businesses. I mean, we have a 2% vacancy rate because our businesses, we remade our economy. And I don't say that lightly. Kevin knows. I don't really like to, I don't puff it up. I don't talk about it, but it's true. We literally, the last 20 years, completely changed the way our economy worked. And now our businesses make 30 to 40% of their annual income in the 6 weeks of the shows alone.
We've had a few people that have come in today that have stated that, right? We were talking to Alex Jones or Pat Jones and Alex Cruz. And that, they were saying that their business in the month of